Let's see how we can make bigger enemies.
To be offended or frightened of everything.
So you've become like the sort of Tony Scarface of podcasting.
Oh, hello! Good morning! Welcome to the morning show. My name is Phil Balabanos, and I am sitting in the big man's chair because the big man is not here. And I have no hair. That rhymes. George Chandrizos, straight from Brossard, the whore of the... What did he call you that time?
The whore of the shore. What was
The
it?
shore whore himself, George.
The mouth
Jiggity
of the
jiggity.
South.
The mouth of the South. He's here today in studio because it's a Wednesday on the morning show. George is the host and producer, the owner, the creator of two podcasts. One of them is a hit, one of them is not. I'll let you figure out which one. The Backstage podcast was George's first podcast, his first foray, if you will, into the world of podcasting, where he talks to people in the private sector. No, not really. I mean, that's the opposite of that, actually.
Yeah.
You don't talk to anyone in the private sector. He talks to people in the public eye, and he gets the kind of conversations that you'd expect to hear backstage in the coulisses, right? That's where he
Yeah.
named it. He translated that. It's a francisisme. That's why it doesn't work in English, and that's why he's on hiatus. His other podcast, Just As Dads, is a show that is really dear to my heart.
Why'd you say like that?
I didn't say anything like that. I just said the title, Just As Dads. Just As Dads is a podcast about dads being dads, you know? It's him and his childhood friends getting fat together and trying to lose the weight. It's a fun show. You guys should check it out, even if you're not dads, or if you plan on being dads, or maybe you want to know if you should be dads. I mean, they're pretty honest. You get a lot of what's going on in their father lives. The Poseidon 6'9" over here is the producer of the morning show. There's some BTS happening right now, so he was like really hamming it up while he was bringing us in. He was like, ooh, slide, fade. But normally he's just like, my name is Phil Balabanos. You can check me out at balabanos.com if you need widgeos. Great widgeos. I make all the widgeos, and I'll make them for you. And that's about all I have to say about that. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to everyone in the live chat. It's a Wednesday morning. It's I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say this next part. Are we still allowed to say Indian summer?
We should. Of course you are.
Do I have to pay reparations every time I say it?
Yes.
Fuck.
I'm glad that we got the good weather now.
Wait, I got a 20. Good. It's Indian summer and it's nice and warm. But yeah, it's kind of fucking weird. It just makes me feel suspicious. Like, I feel like we're about to get... This is like the kiss on the cheek before you get bent over.
No, I don't think so, man.
I don't know.
I think, look, the last couple of years we've had good winters. So I can't really complain because I hate winter. Most of all, I hate the snow. I don't mind so much about the cold because you just dress up for it.
I guess.
But the snow just pisses me off in the city. I just can't handle it.
You don't live in the city.
Sure I do.
I agree with you, George.
You don't live in the city.
I live in a city.
A city. It's more of a town. Is Brossard a city?
It's a city.
I know it's a municipality, but it doesn't have big tall buildings. It doesn't have a
Sure it
downtown.
does. It's building now.
How big are the big tall buildings? You're talking about Zistrand? That's not a fucking downtown.
Well,
It's a mall.
they're big buildings. I mean, bigger than in other cities or other towns.
Tall buildings. You don't have tall buildings.
No one has tall buildings. Only
Montreal
Montreal,
has-
has tall buildings, and
Because it's
Quebec
the only
City.
city. Quebec City has big tall buildings?
Yeah, they're actually
they do.
They
That's
do.
true.
They do.
Yeah. You're right.
And
I don't know if I can consider Brossard a real city.
Okay, whatever it
It's a place.
whatever it is.
It's definitely a place.
It's a location.
It is a location, yeah.
Yeah, but no, just the snow just pisses me off. I can't do it, man. But if I'm up
nervous.
north in the country or whatever, snow is beautiful. It's beautiful. It's nice. It's nice and
Because
powdery.
you're up north, you're not going anywhere. You don't need to fucking
No, but
get
even the
somewhere at 9
streets,
a.m.
like if there's no slush, there's no like that muddy thing. Like it's just snow. Like you're driving on that hardened snow.
Now that
and
you said slush, I remember I had a friend who moved here from Greece, and it was his first winter. He's like, I'm so excited.
Oh, shit.
I'm going to see all the snow.
oh my god.
It's going to be so pretty.
Yeah, right.
I'm going to love it. I go, wait for the slush. He goes, what's slash? I go, it's the part you don't
What's this,
see.
the slash?
What's this slash? Slash puppy? I was like, no, man. It's the part you don't see on the Hallmark movies.
Yeah, yeah.
The dirty underbelly
Yeah.
of fucking winter that like, it looks like liquid shit. And he's like, what? I was like, you just wait and see. And he was living on Peel. Downtown,
no.
and then he calls me one day. He goes, "I see the slash, like it's in my boots." Like I'm like, "Yeah, man." And
It's in my sandals.
the worst is if you're an open car, if you're an open window driver like me, like you, even in the winter, I hang my hand out. If it's not
Really?
too cold, if it's
Oh,
not too
man.
cold,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
If you take a turn downtown, you get slush that flies up
Yeah,
from
from
the
your
tire,
tires, yeah.
hits your arm, and it's salty when it hits you right here. You're like, blah, blah, blah. It's always salty.
One time, I'm never opening my window in winter on Acadie or when it's raining ever again, because the median is so small on that street.
It splashes over.
If somebody
yeah.
accidentally like wasn't like, because then it's full of potholes. But one time my window rolled down.
City of
smoking a
Montreal full of
cigarette.
potholes.
Smoking a cigarette, bro.
in the
And then,
car,
bro,
all
as
of
I'm
it.
standing there, bro, just
Hit you in the face.
right in the face. Bro.
Now that you said that, once I was stuck in traffic on the 40 eastbound. So I was near, I don't know, Stinson, like right before Rockland. And that's where the highway has that little fence between the east and the westbound
Yeah.
lanes, right? I'm just sitting there or whatever. All of a sudden, I just see this fucking 18, it's the middle of the night, winter, this 18-wheeler barreling down the other side. I'm like, okay, whatever, he's on that side. My window was open because it was like late winter, so it was early spring. Guys, the back seat on the other side got stuff. Like the whole car just filled with shit. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, and you don't there's nothing you can do, right? I'm in traffic. I'm like, I look and I'm just fucking plastered. I'm like,
It's
fuck
funny
it.
how your first reaction is no reaction. You're just like, you just
It
pause.
was, oh.
You're like,
oh, that's the
please,
thing.
I hope that didn't hit me in the face or whatever.
It's in my mouth. It's in my mouth.
That's what she said.
Okay. Yeah, so
A disappointment in your
The
face.
disappointment. Yes, I feel that way about you sometimes. I'm not mad at you. I'm not angry with you. I just feel disappointed because it's been long enough now that I think you should have picked up some of like Pantelis' cues for timing. You know,
that one
No,
came
the
in
timing
okay,
was
actually.
good.
That one came in
Yeah.
okay.
yeah. I guess it did. It was just. The bar was here
It's
today.
just that it was immature.
Yes, it was. And yeah,
Because we weren't
That's what it
expecting
is.
anything more.
it was. Wait, it was what?
It was immature.
That's what she said. The ejaculation was
You mean
immature.
that's premature?
Look at him. He's trying. Eh?
He knows.
I'm
He
trying to
knows.
set him up. I'm building something for him.
No,
But
it's
anyways,
premature ejaculation.
that's
It was a
enough of that
terrible-
nonsense.
You make bad joke, man.
Hey, calm it
But,
down, okay?
um,
Calmate, man.
But yeah, no,
Calmate.
the winters, I can't complain. The last couple of years, they've been okay.
That's because we've been inside. They
No,
haven't
no,
been okay.
No, we do get snow, but
Yeah, of
not like
course.
we used to. I remember back in the day, like
Tell me, old timer.
Like at
how
the-
was it in your day?
back in our day.
Did the Kalesh get stuck in the snow all the time?
Kalesh.
I was trying to get to school in 1942.
The horse carriage wouldn't move. No, I remember snow just after Halloween.
I mean, that happens. Sure.
No,
Sorry.
No, back then it was like standard. We knew that November.
I've gone trick or treating in a full snowsuit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We knew that it was snowsuit, so it was much longer. Now it feels like it snows closer to Christmas, like in the 20s of
Look,
December.
I would say starting in the what do they call the OOs? The aughts, like 2000 and zeros,
okay.
the aughts, whatever, the late aughts. We started getting our first snow right before Christmas, and it didn't stick.
yeah, exactly.
I feel the weather changed drastically here.
I
post
appreciate
ice
that.
storm.
And I'm all
still-
for, the environmentalists and all that stuff. But honestly, that part, I'm kind of grateful for.
I think I would rather get snowed in if it meant that in 8 years water wouldn't be a fucking expensive commodity. Because I think that's where we're going.
Yeah.
Like the water wars are coming. I think that was one of the Battlefield Special Forces premises. It was the future. It was the water wars.
I can't wait till we get palm trees.
Palm trees
that
won't
here.
happen.
Yeah.
The fucking poles, the magnetic poles would have to shift for us to get palm
Yeah,
trees.
exactly. Well, they are.
We'll all
shifting.
die.
It is shifting though.
We'll get palm trees, but we won't see it. We'll all be dead.
Oh, like is it gonna be like in 1,000 years and shit?
No, I mean like the thing that would cause the palm trees will kill us off.
No, but it's if it happens very slowly.
Why would you want palm trees?
Because they're beautiful.
Are
Yeah, there
they?
you
I
go.
think they're the dumbest tree.
I think they're nice.
They're useless.
No.
I don't like.
No,
No,
they're not. They grow coconuts.
I don't like coconuts.
No, but there's something.
No, they're not. They grow coconuts. You put the lime in the coconuts.
No, but there's something. Admit that whenever you go traveling to a warmer, country or city,
Yeah. Okay. Fine.
and you're driving and like you're next to that, the waterfront,
Yeah.
and you see the palm trees. There's something there.
Yeah.
Look, I like waterfront.
What is that?
Like most of my positive memories of waterfronts are Greece, right? Greece does have palm trees,
Yeah.
but they're not the same type that you see in the Caribbean.
No.
They're very different. They're much smaller and they're cute. The big ass palm trees in like
Crete, you have
Florida,
big ones.
in like the Florida palm trees, I mean they just house cockroaches as far as I'm concerned. That's because
No, they
I
don't.
oh yeah, go kick one and see what comes down.
Oh, Jesus
It's happened to me. Cockroaches have fallen on me from a palm tree.
Ugh.
Yeah. The good thing though is in the States cockroaches don't fly.
They don't. Right?
Whereas in Greece, which I
Oh,
didn't know,
they fucking
they'll
fly.
come at you. They fucking fly.
Really?
Yeah, I did not know
Oh,
this.
that's what I saw when I was 10 years old coming at me.
You've
La
never seen one?
cucaracha, man.
I didn't know what it was.
I'm going to tell you a quick story before we do the news, okay?
Yeah.
When we went to Greece in 2009, it was my first time on the islands. My wife's from an island. So we went there and they have a house. And there's this little like narrow walkway that connects to the veranda, right? And it's like midday and I'm like, oh, cockroach. Big ass, fucking healthy looking cockroach, And she's like, oh my God, we got to get out of here. I'm like, no, I'm just going to go over there and
What do
kick
you mean
it.
get out of here? To get out of the house?
Like, get out of the corridor.
Oh,
This
okay,
thing's
okay.
going to jump at us. I'm like, they don't jump because on the mainland, I mean, here cockroaches are small. But in the Greece that I know, cockroaches don't fly.
Yeah.
They just walk around and they hop on things. I'm like, cockroaches don't fly. You're fucking stupid. So I come at this thing and doesn't it just like a fucking Black Hawk just come at me.
and you hear that.
Yeah. They fly. They fucking fly on the islands.
yeah,
I
bro.
didn't know. Also, rubbing alcohol kills them.
Okay.
Nice.
Kills them dead right on the spot.
Good to know.
Good
Really?
to know, yeah. But it also helps because after you spray it, because there's cockroaches, then you throw a match, you just burn the house down. You're done. You're fucking done. You're out of there. You're done.
But,
Let's do some news though.
Speaking of palm trees, before
We
we
were,
get to
but
the news,
Yeah.
we were just earlier now.
Just earlier, now we were
Bro, there's in Iraklio in Crete.
Heraclean for
Yeah.
those of you who are Hellenically not inclined,
Deficient.
not deficient. But
Well,
Yeah.
anyways, there's Old Town, Iraklio,
Yeah.
and there's New Town.
Yeah, I've been.
Bro, New Town, have you seen New Town? Gorgeous. There's like a strip that's huge. It makes it feel like you're in the States.
Okay.
With two-way streets, palm trees in the middle.
See, that pisses me off. That the fact that exists makes me angry.
I think it was nice. I think it's nice to have that old Greece and that new Greece.
New Greece is one thing, but old world is good. But to say something like, "Oh, it feels like you're in the States," like I've never, very few times in my life have I been in the States,
It reminded
and
me.
I was on a big fucking space, and I was like, "Wow, this is cool." Like, it's the reason I hate Brossard. It seriously, it all feels like you're driving through a small town in the U.S. It's just strip malls and
No,
houses.
it didn't feel like that.
No, I know, different
Yeah,
style,
yeah.
but I know what you mean. Malaga is like that,
Yeah, they had
In Spain,
clubs. It was
which I was
beautiful.
like, really, Spain.
Yeah.
So much culture, all that colonization. This is the best you could come up with. Make it look like Miami, really? I don't know. Maybe I'm just a hater.
You
I
are.
like old things. I want to feel like there's history where I am. That's one of the reasons I love Montreal. It literally looks like it did because it hasn't developed at all. It's pretty shitty. It looks like it did when they first came here.
There's still potholes today that exist
Yeah,
since back
When
then.
Jacques Cartier came here, the first time he dug a pothole. It's still there.
It's still there.
there's potholes older than me. Yeah,
Jokes aside, there's a pothole on my block, on my parents' street, that has been there since I was a child. I was like, at some point, they're going to fill this thing. They've never filled it. It's just there. It's not in the middle. It's off to the side.
Yeah.
This doesn't bother anyone.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
You could see the train tracks downtown.
What?
The old train tracks, the old railway.
Yeah, what about them?
You could see them
Yes, you
'cause
can.
it's deteriorated so badly. No, because they had covered them at some point.
Oh, had they? Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't understand what you were saying because I didn't know that.
Yeah, on what street? What's the street there? When you're
The
going
street
down Park
there, and
Avenue.
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Once you hit downtown, it's once you pass Maisonneuve, bro, your car risks.
It's very
You're
existence.
talking about Park Avenue.
He means when you get into like near Barrie down there,
Yeah,
east
yeah,
side
yeah.
of downtown. All right, we're gonna play musical chairs a second. Fast. They are nice.
They hold the shoelaces.
Yeah, that's what I love about the Velcro strap.
Yeah, because I don't want to dirty them.
Why's your seat so hot?
Oh, yours is hot too. Well, yeah,
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, I farted, so.
makes sense.
Thank you, sir. And
Hello.
we're back in action.
Did George talk about Greece and the Mitsotakis reporter
We've
thing?
been shooting the shit for
Oh
about 10
no, I
minutes.
saw that.
Did you didn't talk about it? I wanted to
We
talk
haven't
about
talked
it.
about any
we
news.
haven't. We haven't. We've
We
been
got
just-
sidetracked
we've
by
been,
how much
I was
hate
sidetracked.
Broussard.
I was sidetracked about downstairs. We were talking about different
who?
stuff with the parking lady.
Oh, Louise got you.
Yeah.
Sweet lady.
Yeah, we.
But
She's so predictable though at this point, right?
No, we were talking about men can wear whatever they want. Everybody assumes that gay guys are effeminate. She goes, a gay guy doesn't need to be effeminate. I go, I know exactly what you're talking about. I go, I know many gay guys that you wouldn't tell they're gay. She's like, exactly, that's what I'm saying. But the guy before you, he had a difference. So we were just shooting the shit about
So
that.
funny. Man, I love her on Monday morning. She goes, bye, Sailor
I like her.
every Monday. I'm like, yep.
it's the story of their lives.
I was
Yeah,
like,
bro,
all right.
Monday sucks, bro.
Monday sucks.
Grr,
so yeah,
Mondays.
so you want to bring it in? Mitsotakis? I saw the clip.
Yeah.
What is this? I don't know what you're talking about.
I will bring it in.
Yeah.
So there's that. Do you remember her name?
No.
She's this Dutch reporter, journalist that lives in Greece for years. She's been coming back and forth from Greece. She lives there for 40 years, loves Greece,
Okay.
but also hates Greeks. Very.
I can understand that.
Yeah. All right. That's weird.
To Europeans? There's a lot of fucking bad information about Greeks going out to Europeans.
She lives there for 40 years.
But she's still Dutch.
So she's one of those people that believes that Greece has a responsibility to accept every single refugee, whatever person, because Greece can handle that apparently. She's an imbecile. So she went as far as, there was a 23-year-old that I guess she was dating for a while. She hid him like an Afghani, and he was living in her house for a while until the cops went there.
She hid him. I thought
Yeah,
she hid him.
No, she hid him in her house.
Yeah.
For a while, she's that person.
She
We had
unfranked him. Got
we had
you.
spoken about her months ago. She had done that. Anyways, so she's very, very hardcore. Loves that Afghani cock. So she came. There was a press conference at the Mitsotakis, the prime minister, I guess, of Greece. At the what's it called, bro? What's the fucking
Megalo
thing called?
Maximo.
Maximo.
But in English,
His house.
It's the prime minister's residence.
is that what we call it in English?
Ministerial
Okay.
residence, yes.
And they were asking questions to reporters, and then she goes, "You're a fucking narcissist, hypocrite. How come you're not saying that, you're not out there, you're not helping people enough, you're not taking in enough refugees?" And he fucking lost his shit.
First of all, that question wasn't even a question. It
Yeah,
was like an entire statement.
yeah, it was
It's
an
like,
entire
okay,
statement.
Being a narcissist.
Yeah,
is
yeah.
not
And
doing
then,
anything.
dude, you understand, when I tell you he actually lost it, but I agree. I don't like Mitsotakis, but I agree with him. He
I
goes,
love him. What are you talking about?
me, I don't like him. I said, you love him. I don't like him, but I agree with him on
I
this.
haven't decided on him.
Because he goes through, what the fuck? He goes, first of all, you don't come in here to insult me. And he goes, second of all, what are you talking about? He goes, do you know how many people you know how many camps we have? You know how many fucking people we took? He goes, and the problem is that we're
first of all,
taking in people. Here's the other thing.
First, he insulted her for being Dutch. He
Yeah.
goes,
That's
"Listen,"
a great word.
Yeah.
He's like, listen, I understand that Dutch people speak their minds, but when you come to my house, you do not insult me.
Yeah.
He said that.
Yeah.
Did he say it
Yeah,
in English?
he goes,
or-
in English, all this in English. He
Amazing.
goes,
I
you're
wanna
used
see
to
this
doing
clip.
it
Find the
in
clip.
your country, you're used to doing this in your country, not in my country. He goes, but then he goes, hold on a second. Do you understand how many people we have? How many fucking, there are more people on certain islands. There are more refugees in camps than there are local
residents.
citizens. He
It's
goes,
a real issue.
What do you, and also he goes, the majority of the people that are coming, because what she's claiming is you have to accept every refugee. No, you don't. You have to accept people that are coming from like a dangerous country. That's not what's happening in Greece. You know what's happening in Greece? They're coming from Turkey. They're forcing them out. Turkey's a safe country as far as I fucking know, as far as Turkey says, right? They want to be in the European Union. They're kicking them out. They're using him as a tool.
Yeah.
Just like,
to attack
remember
us.
right before COVID when the borders were being...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
what it
So
is.
what he said was 100% correct. And then I was thinking about this because she's like, Greece, no, they need to take in why don't the Dutch take in everybody? Why does Greece? Why does Greece have the responsibility of taking in every single human being on the planet with no regard, no repercussion, no papers? That's fucking crazy.
Because the other thing that isn't so much in the news anymore is that they're still saving people
found
from
the
drowning.
video.
Every
Still.
day, I saw a video
I
yesterday.
found it. I want to see it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
hold on. I'm pretty sure it's this.
Turkey's
Yeah,
using
20
it as a
hours ago.
political tool.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh, don't
Oh,
leave
she
it.
matched her mask to her hat. I like that.
That's her, yeah.
I'm gonna put volume, okay?
Why is it halfway played?
Because it's when she's talking.
Oh, good for him.
Beugel, Groene Amsterdammer. Dag meneer Rutte. In English, right? I have one question for both of you. Prime Minister Mitsotakis, when at last will you stop lying? Lying about the pushbacks, lying about what's happening with the refugees in Greece. Please don't insult mine and neither the intelligence of all the journalists in the world. There has been overwhelming evidence.
That
And
there's
you
sexy
keep
Afghans not
denying
being allowed in.
And lying. This is like narcissistic abuse. Why are you not honest? Why don't
Gaslighting.
you say
Gaslighting, yeah.
Brussels left us alone? We waited for 6 years. Nobody did anything. We need to relocate. They don't do it now. I have my say. And yes, I do cruel, barbarian pushbacks.
Barbarian
They can
pushbacks.
Stop knocking on Brussels' door for relocation.
Please, the
Do
question.
you accept this? And for you, Mr.
Here's the question.
Pause for 1 second.
What's the question?
Hold on.
That's the whole thing,
Not only
yeah.
was there no question, but I have to say something. Did you hear what she said? The fact that he'll turn refugees away, or if they're coming from Turkey, he goes, go back to fucking Turkey. What am I going to do? She says that's barbaric, okay? The people kicking them out of the country is not barbaric.
Yeah,
And according to her, Greece has some kind of responsibility to everybody who just wants to go and live there. They have to accept it.
But you
What
gotta-
country on the planet can run like that? I don't understand.
You got to remember one thing. A person like this woman, I don't know much about her. I'll tell you this much, what I do know. She could never say this in Turkey.
Of
to
course.
The real
Exactly.
person in because they would
true.
disappear her.
Yeah, they would disappear.
So now
She says it.
she's in a
so
free
she says
country
it-
where she can speak.
Good point.
She says it. She says it to the Greek prime minister, and he's gonna say it now. He's gonna be like, "Why don't you fucking say that?" He's saying to the Turks, "You know,
Oh,
why
wait,
don't you
okay,
fucking
don't
say
ruin
it?"
it.
Yeah,
No
but she
spoilers.
won't. But she won't because they're not
But
honest.
at the same time, I'm
biatch.
just going to play devil's advocate for 1 second.
Yeah.
Greece has, there have been some issues that the government has clearly lied about stuff. It has come
Like what?
out. Like the stat. I'm not saying it's their
No,
responsibility.
but whoa,
to
just say wait.
maintain-
Don't flip
I'm
that.
just
What are we talking
I'm
about?
prefacing what I'm about to say. I'm not saying it's their responsibility to accommodate these people,
Yeah.
but the ones that are in the country, I mean, some of those camps are in really bad condition.
Of course, 'cause there's
we
too many.
know now, but at the beginning, Mustaki was like, no, it's great there. There's no kids. There was that whole thing that came out that he was lying. And then there was all those reports. Remember in middle of COVID, it happened. Anyways,
I don't remember any of that.
According to you, are the sanctions that should be imposed on Greece
What?
and maybe on Holland
Sanctions on
for
Greece.
accepting this violation of human rights that Holland is co-responsible of.
Can you press
Also,
pause for one thing?
many-
Oh, I have to say another thing. Violation of human rights. It is not a violation of human rights to not allow someone into your country. We have to establish this.
Yeah, exactly.
This
Is that
whole
what
they,
she's saying is
they
the
did the same
violation,
thing
though?
to
Yeah.
Canada and the U.S. last time. It doesn't make sense to me. You have no intrinsical right to someone else's country, citizenship, resources. You don't have that right. You don't.
Well, look, there are conventions on
There are conventions and the
refugees
peop-
and human rights.
And what does Greece do? They take anyone that's in those boats that are sinking, they fucking bring them in.
Yeah.
But to use us as a dumping ground that Turkey wants to get rid of people and throw them in, no. That's
but most
got to
of the people
stop.
in Greece are not from those boats.
There's-
They're just showed up in the night.
So
and
here's
they've done stuff,
so here's the other thing
whatever.
that's fucked up is most of those people that are coming are no longer Afghan refugees or even Syrian. They're Pakistani, Algerian. They're not from countries that are at war right now.
No, they're not.
So this is fucking crazy. This is crazy.
I mean, I like all the picture of all the Bengalis who are like, we
continue
are
this.
Syrian. We
Yeah,
are
yeah, yeah.
Syrian.
You look very Syrian.
Viva Syria.
Let's continue this.
Many municipalities in Holland want to take many refugees from Greece.
Take them.
Okay, take
Take
'em.
them.
Many minor unaccompanied children. They're ready to accept them.
Jeez,
but
these
this
Dutch
Prime
only love kids,
Minister opposes to that.
Suspicious.
So maybe you could find an understanding, and the Dutch municipalities who are so ready to unburden Greece can actually take in refugees
They're
from
going to take the
Greece.
kids, but none of the
Look
adult
at the
males.
This
answer.
government opposes. Thank you.
I understand that in the Netherlands you have a culture of asking direct questions to politicians, which I very much respect. What I will not accept is that in this office you will insult me or the Greek people with accusations and expressions that are not supported by material facts when this country has been dealing with a migration crisis of unprecedented intensity, has been saving
Yes, perfect
hundreds,
English,
if
eh?
not thousands of
studied in
people
the
at
States.
sea. We just rescued 250 people in danger of drowning.
Pause for a second.
South of Crete.
I was right there with him until he smiled at his own, like, haha, like he ruined it for me
Press
now.
play. Press play.
We are doing this every single day, rescuing people at sea.
That's true, I
While
know
at the
that.
same time, yes, we are intercepting boats that come from Turkey.
He speaks only
as
truth
we
so
have
far.
the right to do in accordance with European regulation, and waiting for the Turkish Coast Guard to come and pick them up to return them to Turkey. So rather than putting the blame on Greece, You should put the blame on those who have been instrumentalizing migration systematically.
Turkey.
Systematically.
Erdogan.
Pushing people in desperate situation from a safe country, because I need to remind you that the people who are in Turkey are not in danger. Their life is not, please,
This
please,
is not a dialogue.
their life is
not a
is
dialogue.
not in
Yeah,
danger,
Scasimori.
and you should put the blame on others and not on us. We have a tough but fair policy on migration. We have
I agree with
processed
that.
and given the right to protection to 50,000 people in Greece, including tens of thousands of Afghans who have been receiving.
Please.
Allow me, have you visited the new camps on our islands? Have you been to Samos?
No, she's pause.
You have not
Pause.
been to Samos.
So
you have not been to
You know
Samos.
why? Because he just said, "Have you visited the new camp in Samos?" Because they had to make a new
Yeah,
camp
I
because it was
remember.
crazy.
Yeah.
So she said, "Yes, I have been to Samos," but what came out after, she has been to Samos, but the camp that she complained about, she hasn't been to the new camp, and he knows she hasn't been to the new camp. That's why she's like, "You haven't been? Why are you lying?" But she kept saying, "I have because I've been to Samos." You know.
Go on.
No, please, you have not been. You have not been. Look, you will not come into this building and insult me. Am I very clear on this? I'm answering now, and you will not interrupt me. In the same way, and I listen to you very carefully.
Bro,
If you
that-
go to
she just
Samos,
fucking-
you
her
will
pussy's
find
dripping.
an impeccable camp with impeccable conditions, funded by EU money, with clean facilities.
He kinda
with
looks Indian,
playgrounds,
No, he looks like
our
he looks like a parrot.
For the children to play.
Oh my God,
No
yes.
comparison
Eka
to what
He
looks like a
we
little
had
bird, yeah.
in the past.
Και ο Μητσοτάκης στους
This is our
καφέδες.
policy. We will stand by it, and I will not accept anyone pointing the finger to this government.
I mean, he's
and
not
accusing
wrong.
it
He's not
of
wrong, that's what I'm
I
saying.
hate to agree with a politician, but he's
I
not
hate to
wrong.
agree with him because I don't like him. But
I don't
he's not
like
wrong.
him either.
I've supported this guy from the first day. I like him. I like his style. And I like exactly how
Look,
he's
I
conducting.
like his style. I don't like his policies all the time.
I'm glad
But
he didn't
here
take shit
I'm Team Kirk, Captain
Dude,
Kirk.
the guy's bringing in unprecedented foreign investment into Greece. People
Yeah.
hadn't even imagined that was even
That is
possible.
true. That whole area in Athens that they want to make a tech center, kind of like Hyderabad has in
yeah.
India and the States have. That's gonna be amazing.
It's
Is he the
incredible.
one who negotiated the Shenzhen agreement too?
The what?
The thing with China, that part of the Piraeus port belongs to China?
No, that
No,
was
that
before.
was years ago.
Fucking idiots.
Yeah,
That was years, and I think it's all of the Paris port,
I
but
think
that was
they own
years
everything,
ago.
yeah. Greece is an entry point into the Shenzhen economic zone.
No, but
Explain that
that's
to me.
that's not just Greece. The dude, go look.
I
I saw a
know, I
documentary
know.
on this. If you look at the map of the country
They
of China,
control
but
ports.
then you look at the map of Chinese influence around the world, dude, they're building and they've bought the infrastructure of so many African and Asian countries, ports, airport, whatever you want.
They own everything.
In a couple of years, when because the way they set it up is that those countries, they already know they can't pay back the debt. So what China does is they get to keep that infrastructure at the end of the deal if they can't pay them off, and they can't. And the infrastructure is highways, railroads, train stations, airports. So basically, China's gonna have its own fucking highway
Through the
all
world.
across the world. Yeah, it's crazy.
Kind of like Germany has through Europe.
Yeah, Germany with the airports.
The new Silk Road.
Yeah, well, no.
He read that somewhere.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's all right. Yeah.
Look at his face.
It's trying to play this very smart.
But speaking of the migrant crisis, and I don't know if you saw this coming out of the news the last couple of days, there's the exact same thing that happened between Turkey and Greece at the beginning of
COVID.
COVID is happening now between Belarus and Poland. I don't know if you guys saw that.
I saw.
Belarus has, because of that authoritarian regime that they have over there, is subjected to all these sanctions from the EU. The same way that the EU was not punishing Turkey, but they were kind of rough against Turkey, and they had suspended all the funding they had given them to support the refugees in Turkey, and obviously they neglected it. Same thing with Belarus. Because of these sanctions, like, you know what? Fuck it. We'll just copy paste what the Turks did. We'll send all these refugees into Poland. So Poland now is dealing with the exact same situation that Greece was dealing with a couple
Poland
years ago.
gives less fucks than Greece.
they brought in 20,000.
whatsoever.
Dude, they brought in 20,000 troops to the border. Like,
They said this is war. You're not supposed to be here. You're trying to come into the country illegally. You're being forced politically by another country.
And remember the last time.
but you know what the thing is? It's crazy to see how these things repeat themselves. Almost, it's like copy paste. The same arguments that Erdogan was using against Greece. That look at them, they're not respecting human rights. They're closing the door to these people that they deserve a better life.
Blah, blah,
they're
blah, blah.
inhumane. Blah blah blah.
Could you
Same
imagine-
exact arguments are used by Belarus now?
If
towards
in
Poland.
everyday life you would take your kids right now and you go to your neighbors and you'd be like, yeah, they're your kids, kids now. And then your neighbor's like, what the fuck? I don't know. And then you'd be like, look at these fucking scumbags. They don't want to take care of these kids. And no one's asking, bro, aren't these your fucking kids, bro? Like, no one's asking that. This is crazy, bro. We live in such a fucking psychotic time. It's whatever the narrative needs to be, we're going to make it be that.
The difference, though, however, between Belarus and Turkey is that Belarus is not considered a quote-unquote safe country, democratically established. So when someone...
I mean, neither
That is true,
Turkey.
though.
No. See, because the argument that Greece is using is that, listen, in terms of the Convention on Refugees, the refugee has to seek asylum or refugee status from the first safe country that he steps foot on.
Yeah.
So in this case, if you're leaving the Middle East,
And you're
why
not
would you
arriving-
come to Greece? You have
You
to
step
request
foot in
refuge.
three different safe countries.
So let's assume that all those
maybe not
countries.
three, two.
No,
Yeah,
but
Saudi Arabia is safe. All that stuff is safe.
No, but let's assume someone's leaving from Pakistan, so he's crossing into Afghanistan, Syria, or whatever. All those aren't safe countries.
No,
so
yeah.
the first place would be Turkey.
Well, the first place you would enter Pakistan would probably be India.
No, because India's
the other way.
far east.
Oh, he's
so
going to come
going-
straight.
Yeah, yeah.
Coming straight
How do you come straight? You're going to go through a war zone?
A lot of them do.
Well, that's the thing.
The one,
Don't
the
they
real
fly
ones.
from India? That's what I heard.
Who? No, let's say you leave Pakistan.
Yeah, you go to India and you fly out. You're not going to fly out from Afghanistan. There's no flights.
That's true. Makes a good point.
Yeah.
But there are still cases.
That's just what I heard. I don't know.
In any case, the point I'm trying to make is that you're going to cross several countries where they're not considered safe for you to stay.
Yeah.
So the first country would be Turkey. So
Let's
that's
say,
where
yeah.
you have to get your refugee status. So the argument that Greece was using is a valid one. However, with Poland, now the controversy is that, listen, you have refugees now that don't want to stay in Belarus for good reason, because EU is sanctioning Belarus because of the conditions over there. So why wouldn't you allow these refugees to come in? So this is a whole other story. I mean, we're comparing it because it's similar. Belarus is using the exact same arguments. Obviously, they've weaponized these quote-unquote migrants. But it's a different situation because they cannot seek refugee status in Belarus. So therefore, Poland has somewhat of a bigger responsibility. But they're not dumb. I mean, they've seen what happened in Greece. They don't want to have that situation in their country. Also, to mention that Poland, like you said, Pantelis, has a much more extreme policy in terms of their homogenous nation, right?
Yeah, it's not even about the homogenous nation. Us is that we're small. We can't handle any more. We've handled enough. We can't do much more. But Poland is more like, listen, foreigner. Yeah. Poland said a lot. What was it, a year ago?
you seen,
Do you remember what Poland said a year ago? What did they say? They said something like, "No, it's simple. We're not racist or anything. We just don't want any Muslims." And people were like, "Wait, what?" Like,
remember the
they were very, very hardcore. The president's like,
yeah. Do you
So they're not going to allow this. Yeah.
Do you remember what's his face? The guy there, was he the president? Guess how many terrorist attacks we've had? Zero.
Yeah. The foreign minister.
Yeah,
He's like,
yeah.
"Zero. You know why? Because we won't let these guys in." That's what he said.
Bro, I was like,
That's what he
what?
said. So yeah, if you think it was tough with Greece, which Greece didn't care. Greece was just like, let's just make sure we know who they are. We want to check their papers. We're going to try to help as much as we can with the resources we have. That was Greece's thing. Just calm down. Don't overdo it. Poland was like, no, we don't even want one. I don't care if it's a kid or an adult. So now you can't do the same tactic to Poland. They're going to start shooting people.
No.
Greece, the fucked up thing is that we're such. It's not that we're pussies. It's because we feel bad. But even when they're being manipulated, they know they're like,
Yeah, but
all right, just process them, bro. Like we have that fucking. We're like, I feel just. And then the government's like, wait, are you sure? Just process them. We don't know what's going on. The Greece keeps doing that because they feel they can't be like, all right, drown. They can't do that.
no. But then there's the situation on some of the islands where, like, not
Oh,
the ones
yeah,
that have
it's anarchy.
centers, where you're right. You said it earlier. There are more refugees, and they're not really refugees.
They're not refugees.
They're just illegals.
Yeah, illegal immigrants.
They're illegal immigrants who have made camps, and the camps have now grown into small tent cities.
Yeah, that's what happens.
And
Yeah,
they
shanty towns.
outnumber the locals.
Yeah, and they
by
go
like
in, they
3-1.
steal, the rape, all that
Because,
shit.
well,
Yeah.
they I don't know about. I'm not going to get into like rapes.
No,
and
they
stuff,
do.
But
Yeah, they do.
I'm not going to get into.
Yeah, we've
it.
talked
I
about,
didn't
but
say
that's
they
why.
don't.
That's why the
But at the
EU.
same
That's why
time-
the EU gave money for the new facilities.
Yeah.
Because that's what Greece was complaining about. They go,
Like-
well, now there's like a civil war. There's people attacking people in the like. There's and not only were they attacking Greeks. The craziest thing was
Attacking tourists.
No. The craziest thing was I don't know if you guys remember this because they were mixing people. Like I said, they weren't all refugees.
Mm-hmm.
So you would have, let's say, people that were trying to survive, and they were Syrians, Christian, Muslim, whatever Syrians that were going there. But then you have Pakistanis, all kinds, and then you have different sects of Muslims and all that, and they were fighting each other. They had gang wars. You remember this?
Yeah.
And then the Greeks were like, well, I don't understand. We're getting robbed one day, then the next day they're killing. What do you want us to do? They're setting fire to each other's tent cities.
It's spreading
They
to our
go-
towns.
Yeah, they go, I don't know what the fuck to do. Yeah.
It's fucked up.
Not only
It's
that,
completely
but the other, the other thing that came out during that time, and that was like just, to people like us who just have a hard time already understanding the situation, where you see a country taking in these people that obviously are going through a very hard time, right? And it's understandable, but I'm opening the doors for you to come into my country, and the thank you I get is you demolishing my churches because you see a cross. And
I remember that.
like,
Yeah.
What? You know what I mean? Like
But that's what
destroying cemeteries, and like, what are you doing?
Poland used that as an excuse too. Remember, Poland said we don't want the same thing that's happening to Greece to happen to us. Like this is our religion. We don't want people to come here and be like, oh, I'm offended by it. Take it down. Fuck you.
Yeah.
It's
It's like you're starving. You go to a place where there's food, and like, I don't eat meat. I don't eat pork, man.
So
you
you
better give me
shouldn't.
something else.
No, I'll try to give you whatever I can, but you're not gonna tell me not to eat meat in my house.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, not we don't eat pork. They don't eat pork.
You
That's
better
fine.
eat pork.
No, but they were complaining. What the fuck is this? We're not being taken care of. They're giving us meat. We don't eat meat. Okay, starve. Fuck. What do you want me to tell you?
Yeah, well, no, it wasn't meat. It was pork.
Pork, whatever. Yeah.
We don't eat meat.
Well, Greece primarily eats pork. Like they're a
That's all
pork eating
that's all,
country. They
yeah,
don't produce
exactly.
beef.
No, we don't have beef, but we have
They
lamb.
have some in the north. It's not
Have
very
lamb,
good. I've had
fish.
Greek beef. It's pretty terrible.
Yeah.
They're like
Tom
little
beef.
sad cows.
Anyway,
Greng beef.
let's move on.
Anyways,
from,
but it is
yeah.
crazy, and I'll tell you one thing. I don't like Mitsotakis, but I do like leaders.
I don't understand how you don't like him. What is it about him that you don't like?
Oh, I'll tell you what I don't like, motherfucker. You want to
You're
get into this?
neoliberal.
I don't like I don't like nepotism.
He's not. He's a
It's-
conservative.
he's a
He's a
conservative
neoliberal.
dick. He conserves his family, bro. It's basically like the Greek royal family.
He's a nepotist.
It's him, his fucking mom, his stepmom, the real whatever the fuck it is. That whole situation there is fucked up.
Yeah. It's been one whole dynasty of political stuff.
I don't
Okay.
like that. Just like Trudeau, I don't like the fact that we pushed him, we propped him up because of family ties.
I'm just a small parenthesis.
But
before
at
you
least,
continue.
hold on,
Yeah.
compared to Trudeau, at least him as a leader, he's strong. He's like, listen, bitch. You know, he'll say stuff. Whereas Trudeau would have been like,
First
would
of
you
all-
like
first
to
of-
see me juggle?
yeah. First of all, he's a competent politician to begin
competent,
with.
yeah.
I understand what you're saying about the dynasty, and I don't like that either. But he seems to be disproving everything that has been said about dynasties, where it's like you suck, you're just there because of your name.
He is a good politician so far.
Like Papadreou, whose dad was a major political figure, then
Yeah.
he becomes prime minister and destroys the country to the point where, the left wing Syriza took over and made it even worse.
Yeah, well, Papadreou was, as far as I know, he had ties to the CIA. So that was a self-inflicted wound. Like they
The
were
old
trying
man,
to kill us.
the old man, you
Yeah,
said.
they were trying to kill us, yeah.
I don't know about that. I mean, there's a lot of speculation. Yeah, there's a lot of. I've heard a lot of that stuff.
Well, no, we even have, they mentioned Greece.
That's just because they say that just because he allowed the U.S. to open an office of the CIA in Greece.
No, but also where he...
It's not
where,
because he had ties to the CIA himself.
They had ties, and also who was it, bro? I was watching American History, the Oliver Stone documentary. He made
That's pretty
all the
good.
history.
I
It's
watched
very
that, yeah.
good. Did you remember the portion in World War II when they were talking about Greece? This is something that I had learned in school too. What the fuck was his name, bro? What's his name, bro? The Jewish guy, the foreign affairs guy,
Kissinger.
Kissinger.
Yeah.
What he was saying about Greece when he, what they needed to do with Greeks, how
Destroy them. You can't beat them
yeah, I remember
in
that.
all-out war. You can't do a frontal assault.
you have to destroy their culture. And he was saying they're fucking rats. Who do they think they are? They think that they have rights, that they're going to stand up. No, they're not going to fucking choose. We're going to choose. And but these people, it's a different strategy.
Was that in the movie also?
Yeah, he had.
I haven't seen that.
Not
it's
the
very
quote.
good.
The quote itself.
No,
is
the
not
quote.
In the movie.
The quote was that you have to. The quote was.
Hit them. Yeah, I've seen the
stomp
quote.
them out like cockroaches. They think that they have rights. Basically, they're standing up.
And it's
They won't-
referring to Greeks.
Yeah, it was about Greece.
I
It was
haven't
during
seen
it was
that.
during the
What
junta
happened?
times.
This quote
He was
gets
mad.
spread
He was
around
no,
the
ma'am. I'm
internet?
talking about this is an actual Kissinger. He was mad that the Greeks were trying to have their own sovereign nation, their own policies. They were trying to unite with Cyprus, and he's like, "Fuck them. We're gonna decide. They're not gonna fucking decide." And if they do, he goes. The strategy against them is not all out war because we've tried that. Like they go to war, these guys still fucking come out. You have to destroy their culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I have some of the shit this motherfucker said.
what's this movie?
Oh no, you
called
could find this anywhere. I'm just saying it was also in Oliver Stone's documentary, and I like Oliver
It
Stone.
wasn't explained verbatim, but
But what's the
movie, I think
documentary
it's
called?
Oh, the History of America. I think
History
by
of
Oliver.
America
It was.
or
It's
something.
amazing.
Just write Oliver Stone History of America. You'll find it. I think it's on Netflix.
Okay,
or
cool.
Yeah, it was on
Crave.
Netflix.
It's on Crave also.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I
It's
think
fucking
that's why I
great.
saw it.
It's
It
fucking.
was
I
very
love
good.
Oliver Stone.
Yeah,
Oliver Stone's great.
But
well,
I
except for
read-
Alexander. Fuck that.
Yeah, Alexander. I mean, it wasn't terrible.
It wasn't terrible. It's
It
just
was
that
alright.
he tried to. He believed his own hype. Like he's like, you know what? Instead of making, I have one of the most historic figures of all time. Let's make a movie about that. He's like, I gotta make it edgy. we're gonna
Okay.
make it gay and this and that, and it's like, and it got too depressing. But also he kept hammering the gay angle, and then Greeks came out after, historians, because the reason why I was hammering it goes because of this passage. It said that he loved what's his name, Hephaestion. What the fuck was it? Hephaestion.
Patroclus. Oh no, I'm thinking of the Iliad. Hephaestion. Yeah.
Hephaestion.
But he died right after.
No, but the best part is they go, like it didn't say erotas. He go,
the ancient
there's
Greeks
different
had
words
different
for
words for
love
love,
for
different
Greeks.
kinds of love.
It's not romantic love. You fucking idiot. You made him gay because you didn't ask one Greek person what that word means. And he's like, well, the movie's made, and Colin Farrell's sucking dicks, so deal with it.
I pulled up what this Kissinger feller
Used to say about Greeks.
Yeah,
I've read it many times, but I will preface this by saying that in a lot of
I've never heard it in Poseidon's voice.
in a lot of places, because I looked, I'm like, did he fucking say? I remember the first time I read the quote.
Which quote are you? Because he did
Read the quote. Let's see the quote.
the Greek people are anarchic and difficult to tame. For
Yeah.
this reason, we must strike deep into their cultural roots. Perhaps then we can force them to conform. I mean, of course, to strike at their language, their religion, their cultural and historical reserves, so that we can neutralize their ability to develop and to distinguish themselves or to prevail.
Yeah.
Thereby removing them as an obstacle to our strategically vital plans in the Balkans, the Mediterranean, and the Middle East.
So
in
here's
their
the thing.
defense, in Kissinger's defense, which I hate Kissinger, but the reason for was he was very, very nervous because Greece was the gateway to Europe.
Yeah.
And they didn't know if we were going to go left or right. They were very nervous that we were going to
What
become a
year
new
is this
communist.
attributed to? What's the year of the quote? Because the first time I read this, I looked
September
into it.
1974.
So it was during the Cyprus conflicts.
Yeah.
That's because Greece
Yeah.
was trying to exalt power on a foreign nation, which was Cyprus at the
Yeah,
time.
but also
and it caused a war.
It was post Civil
But
War.
also, don't forget, the U.S. wanted to abolish the dictatorship.
Yeah,
too,
exactly.
Right? So they,
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
dictatorship
yeah.
that they put
In
in
Greece.
place.
in Greece.
well,
The CIA-backed dictatorship.
you know,
Well,
how it
you know
works.
how it
because
works.
Patako got fucking
Yeah,
Riley
you
on
know
them.
how
Yeah,
it
you know how it
works.
works. The reason why the dictatorship even took place was because the
Let's
CIA.
establish.
The U.S. was so scared for Greece to turn communist because they didn't need another communist country.
They put in a
'cause-
puppet regime.
Exactly. That's what it was. And then after, they're like, yo, these guys, it doesn't matter what we impose on them. They're doing whatever the fuck they want. And that pissed them off because other countries were very easy to manipulate. This is your
They
leader.
were a Riley dictatorship.
Yeah.
I'll give them that much.
They go, this is
caused
your
a lot of
leader,
trouble in the
but
region.
This is your
exactly.
leader. Everyone's going to do what he says. And Greece is like, yeah, we don't care.
I'm proud of that, by the
But
way.
he's also
I'm so proud of that.
But he's also right about the culture part. It's like, listen, it's in their culture not to give a fuck.
Yeah. No. I'm not saying I'm saying
No one's saying he's
as
wrong.
an enemy. Like if you see us as enemies and you want to tame us,
Then he's right.
you have to strike our culture and our history because that's what gives us pride
So
and makes us.
this quote.
It was the
first-
correct strategy that he wanted to use. It's just dirty for us. We don't want to get
This is
fucked
what I'm
over.
going to say. This quote originates, you can look into it. The quote appeared for the first time in the 70s in the Turkish Daily News. That's where it comes from, the first source.
Is that what it says?
Look it up. That's what I remember. Maybe it's Turkish
I
something.
closed the page. Hold on.
So,
Is there a
wait.
possibility that
Does
they...
it sound like something Kissinger would say? 1,000%.
Yeah, no, but it's in the
Is he
American.
right? He's 100%
But it's in the American.
No, this is from
Yeah.
a Greek newspaper.
Yeah, and also it's in the
Greek
no. That's not what he said. He said
Look what you're asking to do deeper
where the
research.
quote is attributed, but no.
The original source.
No, but Oliver Stone's thing when he mentions all that shit. Oliver Stone
remember this
took
in Oliver Stone's movie.
Stone. Yeah, well, it's not a movie; it's a series.
Yeah, but I don't remember it in the series. Like
Yeah,
this
look at
specific
the
part.
World War because he goes
I
in
remember the
order.
Cold War Greece was highly, which I like. You never see that.
Yeah, it goes in order.
I'm going to watch it. I haven't...
It's
Very
very, but
interesting.
it's about the U.S., but this is related, right? Because it talks
You know,
about
whenever you watch a
influence.
documentary about the Cold War, it always kind of seems like it's like weird how it spread because they never talk about Greece. Once you see what happened in Greece pre-Cold War, everything makes sense because they were
No,
testing
you
shit
don't need
out.
Greece to make sense of the Cold War.
Makes a lot more sense how
How did the Cold War
shit-
not make sense to you?
the kind of stuff they were doing during the Cold War, the way they were doing it, that we
Who?
went from
The
fighting
Americans?
Yeah, everyone, the Russia, the Soviets, and the Americans. The way they were operating during the Second World War, if you compare it to 10 years later, how they were operating against.
What do
each
you
other,
mean?
The level of espionage, the tactics that were used, they just appear. But if you look at Greece, they developed them in Greece.
What do you mean? I don't understand what you're saying.
We didn't have modern day espionage like we had in the Cold War during World War II.
Well, we don't have modern day
I
stuff
don't mean
until
the
you reach the
technology.
modern day.
I don't mean the technology. I mean just the way they operated. The way they went in and infiltrated towns, turned fucking citizens against citizens.
So you're saying that they were trying that in Greece?
No,
Look
no,
at
no, that's
napalm,
not true.
For fuck's sake, napalm was used for the first time, tested in northern Greece during the Civil War. They tested napalm on European soil.
They were testing napalm in the U.S. and they had
On a
napalm in
civilian population. Sorry, not testing it. The first time they used it.
Wasn't
to
it in
see-
Vietnam?
Vietnam. They napalm the fuck out of it.
Nope. Vietnam was much later. What year
What?
was Vietnam?
No, Vietnam was before the 70s,
It
bro.
was in the 60s.
I'm not
Yeah.
talking about the 70s.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the Greek Civil War in the 50s.
Oh, 50s. Okay.
The first theater of the Cold War is the Greek Civil War.
You
This
think
is an established fact.
you think I don't understand what you're saying though. Like
What are you not understanding?
what are you trying to say? What's your point?
Which part? I've said a lot of things.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You said a lot of things that didn't make any sense.
They
Like you're saying,
tested Cold War tactics that became like.
but what you're saying doesn't make sense. Cold War.
What?
They didn't test. They didn't test. That
I'm not
sentence
saying they
doesn't.
officially tested.
No,
it.
no, no, no. What I'm saying is the sentence doesn't make sense. You're saying they had. There's no tactic that they're like this is a Cold War tactic. There was a time and place
What
where there
defines the
was.
Cold War?
That's what I'm saying. There was a time and place where two major superpowers were at each other's throats.
behind the scenes, basically.
No, right in front. It was.
But I mean,
very,
they
it
weren't
was,
fighting a
it was
bang-bang
pretty-
war,
But that's
right?
why. That's why it was a Cold War because
Yeah.
they weren't attacking each other
And
directly.
they were
so
fighting
whatever
basically
tactics
through other countries,
But
right?
whatever they had proxy wars too, but they were
Proxy
also
wars.
fighting very much directly economically. So
Yeah, okay, fine.
so
fine.
whatever tactic they were using against each other during that would be considered a Cold War tactic because it was a tactic used during the Cold
but
War.
even proxy
but
wars.
before it, they didn't have. They're like, let's practice this and we're going to
saying
use
'cause
it for the Cold War. It
I'm
didn't
not saying-
exist.
Dude, don't take words out of context.
I'm not. I'm
saying-
trying to understand
I'm
what
not
you're trying to
saying
say.
that they
Well, yeah,
went to
because
Greece
he's-
to practice
he's
the
saying
Cold
now-
War tactics. I'm just saying that the things that happened in Greece during that decade would, not on purpose, but would end up being the kind of warfare that went on during the Cold War.
But which decade?
The 50s.
The 50s
Right after
in
the
Greece.
Second World War.
The Civil
right as soon
War.
as Checkpoint
Civil
Charlie
War
went up.
Greece.
Greece during the Civil
Like,
War.
I didn't know this. I mean, I don't know.
Which part?
That there was stuff tested there.
I'm not.
yeah.
I used the wrong. Okay, fine. Tested. When I say tested, I mean it was done for the first time.
Right, okay.
But napalm was used for the first time on a civilian population in Greece.
Right.
It actually figures prominently in Vulgari's last movie. I forget what it's called. But like they napalm European civilians.
Okay.
It's crazy if you think about it.
Americans.
I believe so. Yes. I don't remember now.
But
what end?
To suppress revolution. The leftists were winning in the north. In
yeah,
the Greek
just
Civil
to
War.
quiet
Russia
down
was gonna- yeah, it
to
was
quiet down communist pockets that
Yeah,
were
yeah,
growing
yeah, yeah.
regionally.
And technically, it was the Greek monarchist faction that used it. But
That's
the
what I'm
napalm
saying.
was supplied by
you
the
know what?
United
You know what
States.
always impresses me every time I look. We look back in history and we see how involved the U.S. has been, pretty much all over the world, and how organized it's been. It's crazy to think. And you can take the CIA or you can take whatever any other branch of the military that's involved, whatever it is. I don't know, but it's impressive to me how. I don't want to say that they caused the issue, but it's also coincidental that, like you said, they put the dictatorship in place to create like this
Stability.
this pretext for them to to
Get involved.
and to
Well, it was more to
and
have- 'cause-
outplay a plan that whatever they had.
But that's what it was for. It was more for control. It was more because
Yeah, but all I'm saying is that everything that has happened throughout history, and let's say we take that specific period during the Cold War, where you see the main conflict areas or whatever
Yeah.
that played an important role during that period. If you dig deep and you read, you know that there's been U.S. influence in place decades before.
Oh, of course.
Well, yeah, that's what
mean?
happened to Iran. That's what happened to Syria.
but that I always find impressive because it's like, okay, this is our plan.
I mean, the beginning of the 20th century is the beginning of the U.S. starting to put out its tentacles,
Yeah.
right? Like that's when they start to really. There's another.
But they
great
do
doc-
to
what
themselves
was it?
too. You know this. This is not just a foreign thing.
No, of course.
The American military-industrial complex and the Secret Service and all of them, they're their own country. They work for themselves. They don't
Yeah,
care.
yeah.
Just like right now, Biden refused. So we were supposed to again have the declassified information on the JFK
JFK, yeah.
assassination. How long ago was the JFK? Oh, it's not saying.
67.
How long
Is that
ago was
right?
it? 60 years?
68, 60,
70 years, let's say.
Yeah.
Okay. So 70 years ago, and you still don't want to declassify, what most players.
Isn't that mysterious though? Like,
Well, we
would
already
it-
know what happened. Look,
Yeah.
because George, the reason why I think they don't want to do it is because George Bush Jr. Was president and he's still alive because of his father. His father was 100% implicated. 100%. I wrote a paper on this.
You sure? Like
100%
Because I read about
implicated.
that too, but I'm just.
He
I
was
don't know.
involved in the CIA, I think. At that
He was
point,
involved in
right?
the CIA, but it was unofficial, right? He was involved in the CIA. He was in Dallas at the time. This didn't happen because people were wondering, why would they kill the president? Why would they assassinate the president? Because he fucked with the CIA and all of the fucking wars that they were
Didn't
doing.
follow the playbook.
The whole what happened in Cuba. What was it? The Bay of Pigs, I think.
The missile crisis.
No. But when the CIA they found out was funding.
Oh, where they got
Oh, the
screwed.
Bay of
Where
Pigs.
they got surprised. Yeah, it was the Bay of
Yeah,
Pigs. Yeah.
So he's like, what the fuck is this? Why would you fund an operation without me knowing to start a
The
war?
problem
Like,
with JFK was that he thought he was actually the president.
yeah, because he
He
passed
didn't
an executive.
understand that he's just there.
But you saw who the real powers are.
Yeah, of course.
The real banking the banking structure of the world. The real banking powers, the central banks, are
Covert
in
ops
charge.
and money. That's what runs the world.
Because the second he instituted, and he passed this is an actual executive order that passed in order to institute a silver standard in the U.S. to get rid of the Federal Reserve and to use not gold, because apparently there's a lot of gold missing. Like whatever gold reserves they say they have is not real. So they were going to use the silver standard. And he passed this. And then he gets his fucking head blown up and they never talk about it again. Even though it was an executive order that the commander-in-chief pushed through, they still ignore it. They go, no. What are you talking about? The Federal Reserve is in charge, the central bank. So that's when you know what the real power structure is.
How can you
so
read that and not just be like, what the fuck? You know what I mean?
But there's so many things, guys. There's so many things. Every time,
I just gotta check on a download for a client. I'll be right back.
Video.
Like every single time, every single time you try to look at anything, even to find evidence, there's so many confusing elements into that story. Anyway, let's move on because last Sunday we had municipal elections.
Oh, yeah. I told you the plant was going to take it again.
Jesus. Well, no. Yeah, you said it. But the point is that, and there's a lot of things that I want to talk about it because there's a lot of things that have come out of this municipal election that has gotten the provincial and even the federal level kind of watching closely on how things evolved. But just in general, the municipal election, and we spoke about this so many times, it's like the lesser of all evils, right?
Yeah,
it's like, nobody elected Coder, and 2 or 3 weeks before the actual election day, he proved it to everyone how arrogant he still was and how he never
Stop
gave a
smiling,
shit.
bitch. Yeah, I remember.
It was bad. The debates were bad. He didn't want to open up his finances, so that people found a little suspicious. And then, like 2-3 days before the actual election day, they made public all the public companies that he had worked for, and that also was a little questionable. Like, what happens if you become mayor? How are you going to deal with it? These guys have a direct involvement in municipal affairs. So there's all these things that came up. Anyway, it was a huge loss for Denis Coderre. I don't think he was expecting it.
If Balarama Holiness was not in the race, he would have won. He still would have lost.
No, because if you add both,
he still loses.
Okay.
So he has nothing to complain about.
No. It was a commanding victory by Valérie Plante. She got almost 43 or 44% of the votes.
I didn't even go vote, so I had no motivation.
No. She got more than the other two combined, so she would have won regardless. Good for her, obviously. I mean, congratulations are in order, and good for her. She won. But what a crushing defeat for Denis Coderre. I mean, it must be a huge blow. First of all, to his pride and ego. The big politician coming down from Ottawa that took this command of the island without any real opposition, suddenly being slapped around by this newcomer that nobody had even heard of, right?
Yeah.
And that's exactly the point that I'm trying to make, because I've been reading a lot of analysts on this election, and it seems as though the main element that has come out of this election, it's not just now, this has been brewing probably since the time that she first got elected, where nobody was expecting her to come up. Nobody gives a shit anymore about the star candidates, that image we've always had of what is the perfect politician model, right? Where we've always thought it was like, an older man, mature from the business world, like in his 50s.
70s.
50s, around there, where you have this reputation and you have all this experience and you're looking at this last phase of your professional life. That had been kind of like the stamp of, your traditional politician. That has gone down the fucking tubes. It doesn't exist anymore.
Well, when I get fuck you money and I enter politics, they're all fucked. Wait, they're all screwed. Wait.
But that would fit into this, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're a nobody coming in, making waves, right?
Yeah.
So this is exactly what we're seeing. It's gotten the entire political class confused. They're like, what the fuck is going on? When you have star candidates like a guy like Guillaume Lavoie, who lost here in... Oh, shit. Wow. So yeah, so you have these big figures like Guillaume Lavoie, who completely got decimated in Villeray Saint Michel Parc X for the borough mayor position.
The gang rape thing? What?
We're talking about municipal elections. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, anyways.
Same.
Yeah, same. So anyway, so you have these guys, these people that have been so prominent in the political spheres. He's the one that actually drafted the platform for Coderre, who got like zero attention like that. So we're seeing this trend where there's more and more youngsters entering politics. People are making room for these people that are under the age of 40. A lot of women, and I'm not saying this in a bad way because I'm actually proud that women are taking over this space where they were almost non-existent.
But you're worried about what's
before.
going to happen to the kitchen if they're not there. Huh? I feel you.
No, I'm actually proud that women are taking up this space because
What are you proud about?
What are you
George?
proud about?
Why
You're
are
not a
you proud
lady.
of them.
No, you're proud of them because
because-
they're not children.
Yeah.
because I've worked with women politicians and I think that they have a lot to offer, and it's good that they're
Yeah,
taking
they
up
have a
this-
lot to offer because they're human beings. I don't give a shit
You're
that they're
happy
women.
to see it.
I know,
You're
but
happy
I'm
to see
saying
it.
that for the
I'm not
longest.
surprised. Like, even these bitches can think. Like, I'm not shocked. That's like, okay.
No,
I took
what
it
I'm
as
saying-
like George is like, I'm proud because it's because of me.
No, no.
that's how it sounded.
No, I'm
making-
proud. I'm proud for them because it's been a door that for the longest time they were maybe afraid to cross or maybe too intimidated to get into.
Because once you cross that door, you might burn the roast, right? That's
guys.
right,
Take it
right
too
there
far.
with you. Yeah.
So a lot
them out of
of
their
a
natural
lot of
habitat.
young women got elected. Some out of the 11 major cities, or I think out of the 12 major cities, at least half of them are now ran by women. So it's this huge kind of pivot that we're experiencing, and that has clashes now at the next level, which is provincial. And this is what's interesting to me because aside from the results, okay, she won, good for her, blah, blah, blah. We'll see what happens. I'm not convinced that anything's going to change. I never
No, of
liked
course
her.
not. Why would it?
And I've said on this platform, I don't support her and I don't see how she got reelected, but good for her.
I see how
whatever.
she got reelected. I'll tell you how she got reelected. She did what the others didn't. The others sat back and assumed, let me lay some words here. They're going to come vote for me. She actually went out grassroots because wherever I was going, people were putting up their own signs I saw of she has to get reelected. All these fucking bike cyclist hippies.
Yeah.
So she said, I don't care what they do. I'm going to get my base to come out and vote and I'm going to win. And that's what she did.
Yeah.
Well, I saw a statement that she made the day of or the night before the election, where they asked her like, "Why should people vote for you?" And she said a bunch of stuff. She's like, which none of it is untrue. She's like, "You know who I am. You know what I stand for. I'm transparent." I mean, for the most part, she has been.
Yeah, she doesn't
There
lie.
hasn't been a lot of scandals.
No, she doesn't lie.
I mean, she's doing a shitty job, but we know how she's doing it.
Yeah.
So she's right there. She goes, and I act the same way east or west of Saint Laurent, the Maine. I'm like,
What does
okay,
that mean?
Like, I don't say one thing to the French people, one thing to the English people, which
I
she had
hope
accused
not.
Coder of doing.
Coder does that, yeah.
And then she said, from north to east, from south to north, I love all of Montreal. I'm like, what about the West Island?
I like her style.
She
Yeah,
did
fuck
the West Island so dirty. It was an accident, but it was fucking hilarious.
No, the West Island, she said north, south, east, west, right?
No, she said northeast, south, north. She just forgot west.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she just made a mistake.
She
But
probably
it was
made a-
funny
yeah, she
though.
made a mistake.
I had a good laugh.
So this now
But
has,
she's right though. She had. That's why people voted for her.
So this has trickled down now to the provincial level where following these elections, you have two different camps, right? So we know that Projet Montréal, and it's been proven, has very close ties with Québec Solidaire, which is like this grassroots leftist party up in
Communist.
Quebec with Gabriel Nadeau-Dubois and all these populists and all these things that I
Makes
can't
me
stand.
so angry that
Yeah,
kid.
Communist.
I know, but whatever. So they're like one and the same. So here's what happens. She wins with a leading, commanding.
Gary's right. She did lie
About what?
about her taxes. About taxes.
What do you mean?
Well, yeah, come on, guys. I mean, look, it's politics. Yeah, she came out in the beginning, said she won't tax, and the year after, she destroyed everyone with
There,
her-
we've addressed it, Gary. Moving on.
Yeah. So anyway, so now everyone is taking a position provincially because there's an election coming in less than a year, right? Provincially. So Gabriel Nadeau-Dubois comes out and says, "Look, see what's happening in Montreal. This is a good sign for Quebec Solidaire." Progressive thinkers, people that have the environment at heart, young, not
Well,
known.
it's not. When did communism first start? In the early 1900s, Marxism, all that. It's not progressive. Communism is very regressive. You're calling it progressive because you're trying to apply it to the modern world.
They have
but it
taken-
is a fucking shitty, outdated thought.
This is the frustrating thing about
yeah.
this. This is what's frustrating to me about these communists and parties. They have taken they have taken over some language that they believe now belongs to them.
Yeah.
So when we're talking about progressivism, when we're talking about
Yeah, that's the thing. Somehow communism and being,
solidarity, beautiful words, right? And now if you say that, you're a communist because they've taken. They're like, no, this is ours.
Yeah.
We're progressive. We're le solidaire and all that shit.
You're regressive.
So
No, but all they've done is an excellent marketing campaign to make communism and the idea that and environmentalism,
Isn't the same thing.
progressive socialist, not socialism, sorry, progressive values, like things that are changing, that have evolved.
Yeah,
with the
somehow
time.
it belongs to
somehow
them.
it belongs
Yeah,
to
yeah,
communism.
yeah.
now.
It does not.
It doesn't.
And of course not, of course not.
Communism is the most rigid system
Yeah.
of government.
So here,
That's what they want. They want to lure you in with promises, like communism always did. You're going to be equal. You're janitor, doctor, same. And then what happens when it's applied? You realize, yes, janitor, doctor's the same. You're all
But it's
peasants.
not.
Yeah, you are. You're all peasants.
So here's something that I'll put out there for debate for people to reflect on, because you have these two movements now fighting in Quebec City on who created this movement, right? Who created this movement? So you have
No, I
Gabriel.
was just laughing at your joke. I was thinking, sorry, George, just thinking of another joke. He goes, okay, finish work as doctor, finish work as janitor, great. Here's your meat and potato. Was that your joke? Meat and potato or bread and potato?
No, you have to
Meal of potato.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to wait in line for your daily meal of potato.
That's it, meal of
But
potato.
that's what Cuba was like, by the way, huh?
Of course, dude.
It's still like
unless
that.
you're an imbecile, yeah, it's still like that.
What do you mean
Yeah,
was?
unless you're an imbecile and you live in some, bro. I've heard people say Cuba's so much better off. I've been there. They have colorful buildings. What? So what are you fucking stupid?
Go
Those
live there.
buildings are hollow.
No,
Yeah.
go live there. No problem.
Go live there, yeah.
So in any case, so now there's this big debate on who created this movement, right? So you have Quebec Solidaire with Gabriel Nadeau-Dubois coming on and saying, see what we started. See the young, unknown people that are creating this movement.
Well, she's
because
not
of their
unknown. She was
ideas."
mayor for 10 years.
No, but we're not talking about
10
her. We're
years.
talking about everyone else, like in the cities like Sherbrooke, an unknown.
Sherbrooke is itself unknown.
It doesn't matter.
True.
It doesn't
I like
matter
when
what
Laval
it is.
was like, no ladies. Laval's the only municipality that
No,
elected a
but they
man.
like
That has nothing to do with
a
ladies. They just
30-year-old,
like them,
a 30-year-old guy that he's probably well known in the communautaire and all that stuff. But
Wait, he's 30 years old, the mayor of Laval?
yeah, man,
That guy should not be in charge.
Dude, we're talking
Yes,
about
she should.
30?
Yeah.
Dude, we're
I
talking
can't
about
run a city.
We're talking about 12.
No,
of
I
the-
didn't say any 30-year-old.
of the
I
12
said not you.
of the
Yeah.
12 major cities, 5 are ran by women under the age of 40. So
So it's a big day.
so anyways, yeah, I mean it's good. So you have now Quebec Solidaire taking credit for it, but on the flip side, you have Legault coming out and saying,
Hello to
Quebec Solidaire, they don't know what they're talking about. This movement, this change came because of us. You see how people trusted us to bring forth the change and this whole movement of transparency
Legault
and to
didn't
do
change
things
anything.
differently. Dude, we're
Does
talking about
Legault know he
politicians
didn't
here,
change
okay?
anything?
So he's saying see, it's a wonderful thing what's happening, and thankfully it happened because of us. We're the ones that
So everybody wants
created
credit
this
for these
movement.
women's work.
Yeah, because
When in
we're-
reality, I'm the one to blame for all this.
I would suspect.
So I
would suspect nothing less,
I just find it interesting and at the same time very funny on how opportunistic these guys are.
They're all fucking scum.
Exactly.
They're
There-
bottom
You
feeders.
said it. I didn't. So.
They better
Why don't
pray
you
I
just
don't get
fucking
fuck you
say it,
money.
George?
So there you have it. So
Oh, because we're gonna fuck everyone.
If
So-
I get fuck you money, I'm running for politics, and it's gonna look like a different city.
so at the end of the day, just to wrap it up,
As long as it doesn't look like
unexpectedly, well, not unexpectedly, but surprisingly low turnout, especially when we saw that the advanced polls were pulling in like a 12-13%,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is more than double what they normally
my
get.
writing was a fucking battleground.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
But I forgot to go vote. I thought it was
blacks
next
and
weekend.
Latinos.
Yeah, you have Lionel Perez that
Yeah,
lost.
he lost. Yeah,
But that's what
Good
happened
old,
also in Quebec. Oh, God.
Unlucky Lionel.
But at least there was no embarrassment there. Nobody came out to
No,
declare victory.
But we have the first black mayor, black lady mayor.
There you
Where?
Côte-des-Neiges.
in Côte
that's not a real thing.
Yeah. But the
Côte-des-Neiges
most
NDG?
but the most embarrassing thing, and I don't know if you guys followed this, was in Quebec City. So in Quebec City, within 30, 40 minutes from the time the polls closed, they announced her name is Savard. She was the one that took over Mr. Lebaume's party, who had been there forever in Quebec City. So the media announces her victorious. It's like, oh, okay, there you go. Mrs. Savard wins, blah, 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 in Quebec City.
Does she have a speech ready?
Listen to this, bro. Listen to this. She comes out, party now, eh? Oh, oui, merci, la la la. We're gonna work together. The whole spiel, everything. Yeah, I'm so happy, la la la.
No.
As the time moves on, dude, the runner-up, I don't know how the fuck this is possible. I've never seen this. We're talking about a difference of over 5,000 votes here, which is why the media said, look, she won. I mean, like, dude, the guy comes up from covers that difference and beats her by like close to
What
900,
a Cinderella story.
close to
That's
900
amazing.
votes.
But
It's embarrassing. So
It's not embarrassing. Look, this all like
no,
this,
it's embarrassing because first of all, her
She could have held off.
even with a
yeah.
head start though. Normally, guys could catch up to women.
Like it seemed like she celebrated a little prematurely.
not only that, but we've reached the point where if the media says, they put that little check mark, élu or elected, usually they have these systems running algorithms where it's more often than not
All
correct.
I see is that all her people were older, so they came out earlier to vote.
Maybe.
That's all.
Ha, don't trust the robot.
We're gonna go make shit
But
the
at
vote
the end of the
tonight
day,
and go early
at
bird.
the end of the day, the person
result.
obviously she's to blame because as a politician you should be a little bit more careful. Say,
She's a
listen,
But if they told you, like, you
there's still like 75% of the polls to go. Let's
but in her
wait a bit.
defense, if they told
Hey,
you, nah, you won.
You
What's
should
up?
get her on the.
Yeah, but who cares? Who cares if they told you what to do?
Catherine Fournier is the mayor
Yeah.
of Longueuil. She's 29 years old.
Yeah,
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Catherine Fournier. So that brings me to another
George,
story.
is she
that-
hot?
Is she a goblin?
She's a very pretty
I like
girl.
that.
Oh, we're
both
bringing her
ask
on the
the
French
same-
cast.
yeah.
Yeah.
What's her
name?
I'll tell you why.
Catherine Fournier. Very pretty girl, very charismatic. She got elected in a by-election in Quebec in Marie-Victorin when Bernard Drainville resigned.
How do you remember all these people's names, George?
I sat with him.
Oh, you
Fuck,
live out
I don't
there,
remember.
yeah.
Whatever. So
Poseidon.
Bernard.
Reach out to her.
So
You sure about that?
Okay, I'll reach out.
Yeah.
no. She could go. Yeah,
But
she's the
Nadeau
youngest.
would be a great guest on the French
Oh,
cast.
who? Jesus Christ.
Fucking Nadeau.
Wait, is that the student that became a communist?
Yes.
No, we're just gonna fight.
That's the idea.
Ferme ta gueule, communiste.
So anyway, so yeah, Bernard Drainville resigns. She comes in a by-election. Obviously, it's a riding called Marie-Victorin over there provincially, and it's like a stamp for the PQ. It's like it's impossible to lose it. So she comes in. She was one of the youngest MNAs ever to get elected. She does the campaign in 2008. She does the campaign in 2008 with the PQ. There's a lot of disagreement on where to go, what direction to go, and all that stuff. So she's like, you know what? Fuck that shit. She leaves the PQ. She sits independently. So everybody now is thinking, what are you doing? You have a safe riding. You know that you're not going to win it in the elections, in the upcoming elections. And then she announces that she's running for mayor. Nobody thought that she was going to win. Like a 29-year-old kid running for one of the biggest agglomerations in Quebec. I think after Quebec, and I think it may even be bigger than Laval. I'm not so sure.
Longueuil?
But yeah,
Longueuil
Longueuil.
must be bigger than Laval.
So nobody thought that she was going to win. They're like, whatever.
kind of a cool story.
It's a last kind of hope thing to maintain some sort of job because she's not winning provincially. And she pulls it off. And she
I like
wins
her.
with a commanding, we're talking about over 65% of the vote over there. She won. Like she was
Really?
like, yeah.
Good for her.
Makes sense. Longueuil is mostly young families now, right?
So she won. So now brings us to the next story, which
Impressive,
is
honestly.
I like it, yeah.
now in provincially, because she's no longer there, she's going to have to resign, right, from the Quebec Parliament because she's sitting as a mayor.
Yeah.
It leaves the seat open, so the Quebec government has to announce by-elections in Marie-Victorin within 6 months. So by I don't know when they're going to announce it. We're talking about by May there should be an election, May June, and here's the whole thing now, because you have the Parti Québécois whose leader right now is not sitting. He got elected as the leader of the party, but he doesn't have a seat in Parliament.
How?
Because they elected someone that's not elected. They
They elected a leader who's not, who
elected
didn't win any. Okay.
Exactly, you know?
Who's the leader?
Paul Saint-Pierre Plamondon. It's a young kid, very talented, very eloquent, very good, whatever.
Yeah,
but he didn't run in the last election. He didn't win, so he's outside the parliament, and obviously that has a direct effect on, the
Like when his whole
influence.
crew is inside, he's outside with a megaphone.
He goes to Quebec.
Don't
He's-
embarrass me, see.
No, he's in Quebec every day. Just that he can't sit in the house, so he does a lot of press conferences outside after and all that stuff. So
little
he's
weird.
there, but it's a different dynamic. You need your leader to sit in the house. So now there's a lot of pressure on him to actually run in this by-election and to win. The problem, however, is that the regions have been widely taken over by the CAQ, to the point where even Marie-Victorin, which was a safe riding for the PQ, is in danger of going to the CAQ. So he's thinking now,
Shit.
Legault won't announce an election because he said nothing's going to be announced before Christmas. So we're looking at after Christmas, or let's say we're looking at around January, February. You're going to run in February, do that whole campaign, maybe lose, maybe not. We don't know what the result is. But given the numbers right now, the PQ is polling less than 10%, which would place the PQ in a very bad situation, even in Marie-Victorin, which was a very safe riding for them. So he's thinking now, do I do it? Is it a safe riding? Am I going to get elected? Number one. Number two, is it worth the trouble if we run a campaign in February, March, let's say, whenever it's announced, and then 3 or 4 months later, we go back into an election because it's 2022 and, it's the election year? Or should I just wait until then? So there's all this thing happening. In the meantime, this other fucking fruitcake comes out of the fucking shadows. Her name is Martine Ouellet. Many people maybe,
lesbian?
No, I don't. Maybe
You
I
called
don't
her
know.
fruitcake.
That's what
I'm
a fruitcake
curious what you
is.
meant.
No, fruitcake is a crazy person.
Yeah, crazy.
Oh, okay, right.
So
You were thinking of fruit because you're a simple man.
And you love cake.
Go on.
so for people that don't
was me who said
remember,
it, by the
so for
way.
people that don't remember,
No, he said it at the same time.
so for
But I
people that
decided to
don't,
blame him. I heard you say it. I ignored it.
for the people that don't remember Martine Ouellet, this is like one of that, like a thorn on your side that you just can't get rid of. And it's like, what the fuck? You again. She was elected with
There's a backstory there on George's part, but let's go.
No,
He's fought with every politician.
No. So she's I'm just saying with all her stuff. I mean, and there's crisis after crisis with this woman. She doesn't get the point that maybe she doesn't belong in politics. So this is what happens. She gets elected in I can't remember 2012 or whatever. She was in opposition, and then she got elected in government with Pauline Marois. She became Minister of Natural Resources. She completely fucked over the entire plan that the government had to develop the northern part of Quebec. To the point where all the investors fled. When the PQ lost, obviously, Pauline Marois stepped down. There was a leadership race. She went in and she created havoc. She lost the leadership race. She got very bitter about it. And then everybody hated her.
To kill her.
No, she got very bitter. And she's like, oh, fuck this shit, whatever. And she left. She slammed the door and left. And what did she go do? She jumped to the federal separatist party, which is the Bloc Québécois. She's like, you know what? I'm just going to go over there and become the leader over there. She succeeds in doing so. She becomes the leader of the Bloc Québécois. She became the leader of the Bloc.
I didn't know this.
Within a couple of weeks or months, infighting happened where there weren't that many, right? In the last, the previous elections, the Bloc got only 8 or 9 MPs elected in Ottawa. She became the leader. And within a couple of months, like 8, I think, out of the 9, they're like, fuck off, bye. We're sitting as independent. We're going to create our own little entity. Leave her by herself. We don't care.
Oh, God.
To the point where the membership was so frustrated, they kicked her out after electing her leader of the party. They're like, you know what? Finally, get the fuck out, man. We're not going to create this
She's a crazy
shit.
person, yeah.
You know what I mean? Exactly.
Oh,
So she left. Yves-François Blanchet came in. We all know the story after that. They've been getting record numbers. I mean, they got, 35 seats or something
Well, that's
like
because I'm going to be honest with you about
He's
this guy.
great.
I like him. He's great. He's a great.
He's great.
He said, okay, he's super. He's a super separatist, isn't that? But dude, the guy is smart. He's articulate.
Yeah.
So far, I haven't really dug deep into him, but all the press conferences I see him say, he says the truth, which is what I like. He's direct.
Yeah.
The only thing
I
is
like
he
that.
had one rape allegation.
So you hold that against him because it was only one.
It's an allegation, by the way, so there's no accusation.
You think his numbers are low?
What?
Like, the way you said it was weird. You're like, the only thing is he had one rape allegation.
But there isn't.
Why was the emphasis on the one?
There was no emphasis. Yeah. Well, because there's only one. What do you want me to say?
No, but the way you said it was like the disappointing thing here is the number one, not the rape allegation. The fact that he had one, you're like, this guy's got to get his numbers up, bro.
No, it wasn't even like that.
He's got to get his numbers political level. He's got to get him up to.
We got to work on those allegations.
If you're going to play in the big leagues, bro, you got to start fucking raping.
What was his name?
Yves-François Blanchet. He's still there. He's still.
I never heard of a rape allegation.
It was back in the day because
about a club or something.
back in the day he was the manager for Éric Lapointe. That's how he got known.
Oh,
this guy.
he loves female boxing. That guy. Yeah, I know him. Yeah.
So
And it's anonymous, so it seems suspicious.
yeah. So and I don't think there's anything formal happening, whatever. But it did kind of ruin his reputation for a bit. But he came out and anyways, he bounced back from it.
Wait, he managed Éric Lapointe?
Yeah, he was involved with his tour and everything. Yeah, he was involved with that whole
If
thing.
Yves Blanchet is listening, si vous êtes intéressé, I will fire my manager if you want to take over. I think that would be the best. That would be hilarious.
So
I
anyway.
think my manager would agree.
So
he'd be like, yeah, this is going to be ridiculous. Let him go.
So back to Martine Ouellet. She gets kicked out of the Bloc Québécois. It's like this whole saga now. She starts crying on TV and she's like, oh, I can't believe it. And so it's
She
like,
says I was raped.
no, man, about the
Oh,
Bloc
sorry.
Québécois.
What happened with this rape thing? Why are we leaving
Nothing
this?
happened with
Nothing happened to it. The guy
Did he
got-
rape anyone?
Hold
not
on,
part
I'm
of the
going
story.
to say,
No,
I'm going
no,
to say the story fast.
We have to know now.
Back in 99, the
What a year.
allegation is that
was a year.
he tried to force himself on a woman in the washroom of a Montreal bar.
I don't believe it.
Yeah.
So this person was anonymous. and
Anonymous.
that's suspicious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Who
don't
knows?
believe
Maybe
it,
he
yeah.
did it. He seems like a dick.
And
No, I don't believe it because what happens with these politicians, I've learned from him, is a lot of people come out of the woodwork, like they get paid, and especially if there's no credible, like it's completely uncredible, they use the anonymous, so you can't fight it. You can't say, well, I never met you, or you weren't there.
How'd you learn that from him? Most of those accusations were not anonymous.
What do you mean? No, I learned that.
storage.
No, I learned from him about what we talked about how people they
you
fleece
mean.
and all that. They
I
try,
understand.
they try to sabotage your political
You
career.
bounced back though. You bounced. I mean, you bounced out.
Yeah,
Something. You
n-
bounced.
by the way, guys, none of this has anything to do with me. Just for the
No.
Yeah. Any assumptions
He was
there,
not.
fucking.
George never been convicted of any. George, in fact, was the rapee.
No, George wasn't you just said George was not convicted. He wasn't even accused of anything. Let's just be
No, he
clear.
wasn't accused.
No,
He was
I'm
the
not
victim.
even remotely close to any of this shit.
He was the victim.
He was just the watcher on the wall.
Yeah.
No,
Hey, I found out you're going to do a show in Winterfell, Quebec. That's cool.
I'm going
was the
everywhere.
eye
Yeah.
through the glory
in
hole.
the fucking wall.
Yeah.
So anyway,
How'd you find that out?
I watched the preach episode.
Oh yeah. We're going all kinds of weird
I didn't know
places.
we had a Winterfell here.
I
That's so
didn't- yeah,
interesting.
it's a
Do
wall.
you have to fly there?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Sounds scary, man. That place in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah, let's not.
gonna
Let's
be
not.
wild.
Cecil, you gotta fly. You can't
No, not Sept-Îles.
I'm going everywhere. Setil
No,
also.
he's going to
Bécomo.
I'm going there too.
Fairmont.
Okay, yeah.
Not
Yeah.
like F-E-R. Fairmont.
Fairmont.
I'm going all kinds
It's
of weird
far, it's
places.
far.
Yeah.
They
Of
live in a
it's
wall.
far.
They live in a wall.
That's amazing.
Yeah, Mike is introducing me to a brand new world.
So
You're gonna look like a fucking to them. That you're gonna be like, wow, he's so exotic.
Just a funky giant.
Just like a funky cyclops.
he's got hair on his face.
Yeah. Yeah, seriously.
The last king of the Mycenaeans has come to our lands.
So, anyways, just to finish up with Martin Ouellet. So basically, it was
I'm gonna be the Louis Cyr of the town. Yeah.
it was such a sad thing to see a couple years ago, like her parting ways. Nobody really
Oh, you're
wanted
still
her.
along with the story?
Yeah,
Okay.
no, because this is what's happening now. So nobody really wants her anymore, and she's all by herself. So we
Aw,
find out a couple
so
months ago.
sad.
We find out a couple months ago that she created her own provincial party now, back to provincial politics, called the Climat Québec.
Oh, that sounds stupid.
And now with the opening over here, the girl hasn't even yet announced her resignation from Quebec. She's gonna officially give in her letter of
Her letter
you know
of
resignation,
resignation,
whatever.
yeah.
It hasn't even done. She hasn't even done so yet. Martine Ouellet comes out of the fucking woodwork saying, "I will be a candidate in the next elections in Marie-Victorin under my new banner." Blah blah blah. She's not gonna go anywhere. But it's just embarrassing to see this girl.
I've never cared less about something you've brought to the
No, but I get what you know.
I get
What
what
she
you're saying,
sounds
but
like.
it
I'm just
just
saying that
seems
there's this
like
whole thing
it
now
feels
around.
soap opera-esque.
Do you remember that crazy lady that you'd see around? She's a Greek lady. You all gonna know who I'm talking about.
Okay.
You'd randomly see her, and she would recognize you and talk to you. She would do this to me all the time. You'd see her at the community. You'd see her downtown. Sometimes she had a carriage. Sometimes she would have a story. You know, they're trying to kick me out of my building, so I had
Oh
to.
my God, yes.
You know exactly what I'm talking about. She always George, you've met her many times.
Yeah, what's her
and she
name?
I don't know what her name is
Mira
because
Cristina.
but no, I don't know what her name is. I have no idea what her name is. But she would always see me and. Whether I hadn't seen her in 5 years, I was clean shaven, beard, long hair, short hair, it didn't matter. She would fucking recognize me. One time she recognized me on St. Catherine. I remember this was a long time ago, it was years ago. And she stopped me in St. Catherine and she's like, "Hi, I see," because she used to see me at the community. She thought I worked there. And she's like, "I need you to help me. They're trying to kick me out of my building, and they have bed bugs." And then I go, "Whoa, what the fuck, man? What are you telling me?"
Wait, she
What
lives
are you
in the
fu-
community?
No, but she would
wasn't
always
your
go to the
neighbor.
community to tell them to help her with her problems.
Shit, no, I don't know who you're talking about then.
You do. Trust me, you do. Yeah.
I don't
I
know.
don't
You'll tell me who it is. Whatever.
I don't know her fucking
doesn't
name.
know.
If you don't know, she has black hair. She was like a middle-aged woman. You would always see her around, and she would always have a story. You either share the community or downtown Orange Park X or somewhere, and she would just, whenever she'd see you, she would start a conversation that in her head already started with you a minute ago. So you would join the conversation late.
I don't know. I'm not sure. You know who I initially
Yeah, because she'd see you and she'd be like, "Yeah," and so he's throwing me out. So since you work,
That's
at
how
the
it
community-
started. That's how it
Yeah,
started.
That's how it would start, and I'd be like,
That's like talking
"Wait,
to my father.
I just joined. Why are you?"
My father's like that. He starts talking, you're like, whoa. He's like, oh yeah. And then he gives you context. I'm like, did you think I was with you before I entered the room? He just starts talking mid-sentence.
In her head,
It's
I
just
guess
a
she
thought.
started. Yeah, it's just a
comes out.
thought. She thinks that you share thoughts.
So weird.
It was I don't know why. Because she reminds me of that lady.
I'm not sure who you're talking about, but the first person I pictured was your ex-boss's mother. Because she used to do that to me at the CLS. She just come tell me stories.
No, this lady was crazy.
Yeah, you've met her.
Oh fuck.
Nice lady though.
Yeah, don't get me
Very
started.
nice lady.
Anyway,
Yeah.
let's talk about something else that happened yesterday, which one has shocked the sports world, but at the same time is seen as something of an encouraging
We're doing a sports segment. Cool.
thing.
Okay.
Carey Price, for all the people that don't know, for the last month he announced that he was going.
That was a
into
good segue. Speaking of rapists, yeah, go on.
So he announced that he was going into the NHL program.
You're welcome. But to the people who know, the people who don't know are going to think I'm being offensive.
Yeah. So he signed up to the
that was a
NHL
callback
program
and a half.
for psychological help. Or
Yeah, what is it
whatever
called? The
was.
NHLPA Players Association.
Yeah, whatever. So everybody's like,
that's what
oh,
PA
okay,
stands
what's
for.
going on? Okay, we don't know. Okay, good for him. He came out publicly and it's good,
Yeah,
whatever.
we spoke about how I don't want to speak about this on this show.
And we spoke about how it's important for these people that are seen as
icons.
mentors, whatever the hell you want to call it, to come on and take this stand because you have real people. Not that these aren't real,
By the
but
way,
I mean, these are celebrities.
Dennis Lapointe has been a YouTube Mafia member for 11 months now.
God damn! Congratulations!
That's
Shout
a
out.
fucking milestone, yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Dennis Lapointe.
I like how the YouTube
That's
Mafia,
cool.
the YouTube Mafia gets different colors.
That's cool.
Yeah, and I was thinking about the YouTube Mafia. I think the video that we're making, the behind the scenes shit and stuff, it's going to be available to YouTube Mafia and Patreon first, and then everyone else.
Yeah, like a month later or some shit.
Yeah, we're going to figure it out. How much
Yeah.
later, yeah.
Watch them fucking pirate it onto like DVDs, like crazy. They're so desperate.
I don't think so.
I don't think DVDs are a thing of the past.
Yeah, they're just
so-
gonna
Yeah,
pay
I
the.
know.
They're just gonna pay the $3, bro. That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna,
If you want to pirate DVD, you gotta find a burner, a DVD player.
Yeah, I think it's gonna
DVDs.
I think it's gonna be more expensive to.
Yeah, exactly. Pay the $3, guys.
So Carey Price came out yesterday and said the reasons why he had to sign up for this program, and it's because of.
Oh, he came out and said it. I didn't hear this.
Yeah, yesterday said, listen, it's been very difficult. I've been dealing with what's it called?
allegations,
No,
Seasonal depression.
consommation, or whatever. It's
Consumption abuse.
abuse,
yeah,
substance abuse.
Substance abuse.
We translate.
What was the substance? No.
That's the thing because I've
I don't get it at all.
Oh my god, that's a good one.
He's been abusing that one.
Oh,
Yeah, so this is what he stated on, I don't know if it was on Twitter
was
or
dark,
wherever
bro.
it was. He goes, over the last few years, I have let myself get to a very dark place and I didn't have the tools to cope with
Like
that
raping?
struggle. That last
Hold on a
month
sec. I gotta say something because they said in the chat about your friend there. What's her name?
Martine Ouellet?
Catherine Fournier.
Oh, Catherine Fournier,
Yeah, you know who won in her team? Our friend of the show, Sylvain Larocque. Of course, I already said it when he came on the French cast in the summer. Do you remember this at Just for Laughs? I said when he came out, he goes, I'm trying. I don't know if they're going to vote for me because I'm a comedian. I said, bro, you just came to the French cast. You're going to win. And what happened? Did Sylvain not win?
She got a commanding majority.
Power of the French casts.
if I'm understanding correctly,
Yeah.
you have now taken the role, basically, at least locally. You're like our CIA now. You decide who's in charge.
More of a local Rogan. I prefer that one, but I'm not
Locan Rogan?
a local Rogan. I'm not as
I wouldn't call you a local Rogan.
I'm not as secretive as the CIA. It's pretty all public. But yeah, I even remember Codera. I said, big mistake for him. I remember I said months ago, I said, if he comes to the French cast or the podcast, we could get him a victory. Son of a bitch,
I love
pussy it
that
out.
the absence of evidence is what proves his theory.
Hold on.
I'm
Months
gonna
ago,
have- yeah.
what did I say months ago? And he remembers this. He said it months ago. He said,
Me?
"Oh, don't worry." No, he said it. He said months ago, he goes, "Don't worry, he might come. They're gonna do media later." I go, "It doesn't seem like he's gonna do media because of his answer. His answer was stupid. He's out there taking photos with black kids because he thinks people are gonna think he's urban. It just makes him,
Compétent.
it just makes him look weird."
Compétent.
I go, the fact that he said no, I'm telling you right now, this campaign, and he was laughing at me because like, "No, Kader's gonna win." I go, "This campaign is shambles. Shambles. He cannot win. He wants the vote of the people. He comes to the voice of the people."
Get let go on
But did he? No.
Tell him he needs to start preparing his run. you
Legault
don't want to be
doesn't-
like Denis, do you?
Legault doesn't need me, but it would definitely help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm actually because you were
Power
talking
of the
about
French cast, baby,
you're talking about the
baby.
backstage podcast that we've taken a pause, but I'm bringing a good friend of mine who was he actually resigned from his position as a municipal councillor, and he helped organize. So I'll try. Yeah, I'll organize the campaign that went fucking sour. So
their campaign.
yeah,
Their
yeah,
campaign.
he was
You're
he
talking
was
about
the
I know who you're talking about. You told me about him last time.
Frank.
Yeah.
So he's already been on the podcast, and I'm trying to bring him on just so I can see a little bit of what happened behind the scenes, man. Like, what the fuck were you guys doing?
They denied my request. That's what
I
happened.
was chatting with him during the thing, and
Can you throw that in there too and be like, why are you guys so stupid?
Yeah, why didn't you go to fucking Pantelis?
The French cast.
Yeah, why? I was convinced that we were gonna get him.
He is culture now.
No joke, guys. I was convinced that the fucking director of the party. The guy tells you, "Don't worry, we'll make it happen." This is the guy that's in charge of the party, right? And then he's also in charge of the campaign. It's like, how the fuck did it not happen? I was actually
A grave miscalculation, George.
Bro, this is Spotify last week.
I want to see too.
Oh wow,
Show to me.
I call in.
Calenda, Ben.
You don't understand, bro. You don't understand, bro. I'll get him elected.
It amazes me though.
Should I show you my numbers?
Bro, I have more French cast listeners than we had mayoral voters.
It's true.
I wonder, have you ever looked at your demographics in terms of location? Is it Quebec French, or are you getting French from around the world too?
I have mostly it's Quebec French, but I have from everywhere. I have Belgium, Switzerland, France. I have some Cameroon. I have some African countries. Yeah.
Pantelis est drôle.
Germany. I broke into the German charts last week.
Really?
Both
In
English
French?
and French. Yeah, both English and French.
In
yeah.
French, huh?
Expats, my friend.
Expats.
Canada.
Yeah. Canadian expats or Greek?
I don't know. They could be anything. They speak French. They speak English. They listen to the
That's
fucking
true.
best podcast on the planet, baby.
There you go. So just to
So you're
finish
not
the
a local
worldwide.
Rogan. You're better than Rogan now because you can attack in 2 languages. Rogan only speaks English.
Three.
Yeah, but he doesn't have a Greek cast yet.
And
Which
then if-
I'm all for, by the way.
If you learn Spanish too, forget about it.
Yeah.
He will be Mr. Worldwide.
Pantelis en
Cooler
en
'cause he has
español. Do you speak Spanish? No, eh? You do not?
Un poquito.
Un poquito, sí. George,
yeah,
so
so
what
ju-
was he abusing? What kind of substances?
So I tried to read up on the story, and I couldn't find what exactly.
We're still talking about Carey Price, by the way.
What substance? I'm just focusing on the fact that you have this huge superstar that has come out public with a very dark secret, because apparently
A personal secret.
a very personal and dark place that he was in that nobody apparently even knew about. So his coaching staff didn't know. His colleagues that he played hockey with had
What was his persuasion? What was he into? Drugs?
I don't know.
Alcohol,
I don't know.
Transgender
We're talking
people?
about substance abuse. So
Transvens, is that what you
I
said?
Yeah,
don't
I almost
know.
said the other word.
I don't know if
That's
it was alcohol, because I don't know. I mean, they get tested, no, in the NHL. That's
fine. For performance-enhancing drugs.
so alcohol wouldn't pass. So I'm guessing maybe it's alcohol.
I mean, he's in peak physical condition. You think he developed alcoholism? I have a hard time believing that he would be that on his game drinking that
Well,
much.
anything else would have been picked up. He would have been kicked out.
Unless
so.
he's just smoking a lot of weed. I don't know. Maybe he was into hookers.
Is that allowed in the NHL? I mean, now that it's legal here.
It's not performance enhancing. If you think someone's getting stoned and they're just faster, you're stupid.
Yeah.
You should smoke some weed.
No, I have a feeling that it's alcohol. But in any case,
I feel like it might be alcohol
yeah.
too.
The crazy thing is that everyone around him just had no idea. And because this morning on the radio,
Painkillers. That's a good point. Painkillers.
What
maybe.
about him?
maybe
Maybe he was addicted to painkillers because he's had injuries. So maybe that's a likely scenario.
Yeah.
I didn't consider that.
Anyway,
That's sad.
so what
It
he
is
said.
sad.
So what he said. Over the last few years, I've let myself get to a very dark place, and I didn't have the tools to cope with that struggle. Last month, I made the decision to enter a residential treatment facility for substance use. Things had reached the point that I realized I needed to prioritize my health for both myself and for my family. Asking for help when you need it is what we encourage our kids to do, and it was what I needed to do. I'm working through years of neglecting my own mental health, which will take some time to repair. All I can do is take it day by day. With that comes some uncertainty with when I will return to play. In any case, I think it's a great thing for them to come out and say it, because it's surprising to know how many people actually look up to players like this. I don't see
A
why.
lot of it, millions.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's
I
kinda
mean,
crazy.
it's not my case personally, but
Maybe
I mean,
even
there's
cocaine.
no, that would be picked up
That
in the
would be picked
test.
up. But certain opiates wouldn't be though, because they take painkillers. They're athletes,
The
right?
word no. Yeah, he has stuff that he does.
He's still on
Let
that.
it go.
So all I'm saying is that
That's what he should
yeah.
have done.
Yeah.
So there you have it. So good for him.
Good for him. Good for George.
All right, guys, let's quickly touch base on COVID-19, Pfizer, and all that shit that we're expecting to
Really?
see.
Let's
is gonna
not, but
happen.
okay.
Because
I'm
Health
up.
Canada gave the green light for Pfizer to be used for a third dose to be used for everyone over 18 years.
No.
So we're no longer in the 70 plus bracket where we were in the senior care facilities. Where
Well, they said it's cool, but it's not mandatory.
no, I don't think it's mandatory, but they gave
Unclear at this
the green light. So I'm still, again, all this I'm saying because I'm still waiting to see what's going to happen with a 5 to 11 demographic.
Oh, they're
which
going
is-
to push on your children. Don't worry.
So there you have
They
it.
already start with the children.
They've slowly started.
Hello,
No,
children.
the 5 to 11 hasn't.
Yeah, they
They
have.
started releasing information.
No, they haven't
They're gonna
authorized
start
it.
soon. No, the CDC has authorized the use.
Yeah,
The governments have not.
Yeah. So in the U.S. they have, and we're just waiting for Health Canada to see what's going to happen. So last episode, remember we spoke about all those things in Texas and all the falsified crap that they had. So
See.
So Health Canada is looking into that,
Yes.
questioning Pfizer on that.
Oh, right. Yes.
Yeah, in the trial things. So anyway, so that's what's happening with COVID-19 and with Pfizer and that additional dose that they're going to be given. I thought it was only 70 plus, so 18 and above is going to have a third shot now.
Who gives a shit? I don't want to talk about that. I'm refusing the third shot.
Yeah. Anyway, so there you have it. Let's go back to that story that we spoke about last week where the CEO of Air Canada was humiliated in what was an only English speech that he gave that fucking made the entire country flip upside down.
I've been in Quebec for 12 years and I don't speak a word of French.
So no, he's like, I've lived in Montreal for 14 years, and I've been allowed to do so without speaking French, and that is a testament to the city of Montreal. Like, what?
The stock went up.
That's a testament of you being an imbecile. That's what it is.
Ridiculous thing to say. So obviously Quebecers are angered by what happened. Well, not surprisingly though, across Canada they couldn't give two shits. They're like, fuck Quebec, move on. All we care about is the numbers, and can him as a CEO do his job properly without having to speak French? Why does it always have to be an issue and blah blah blah?
Yes, I understand, but here's what bothers me: if he didn't speak French and he was like, he lived somewhere else, I'd be like, I don't give a shit. He's good at what he does. The problem is that how do you live here for 14 years?
Yeah.
And you can't speak a word of French? That's crazy.
Not only that, but as a major corporation, you fall under the Official Languages Act, which I think requires you to have some sort of policy for your employee and your senior
To learn.
to implement French, which obviously wasn't respected. And also, it has a head office in Montreal. I mean, like, what the fuck? Like, what else?
He just told us that he lived in Montreal for 12 years and it's completely fine. He can just speak English.
So anyway, that has become a huge political issue now. But most of the politicians are on the same page. However, again, Quebec solely, they're pushing fucking buttons they shouldn't be. They are pushing the government, so Legault, to call a meeting of all these big corporations and all their CEOs and top execs to sit down and put a plan down and to actually call them out to see who's doing what in terms of the French language and all that stuff. And Legault, and this has become now the next issue. Legault pretty much came out and said, listen, fuck off. We don't have time for that shit. Each politician, I think, has made clear their positions on it. We're all on the same page. That's enough. We're not going to, pursue this. We have other things on the agenda, which I don't really disagree with. I mean, do you really need the prime minister to call in every senior exec?
It's a colossal waste of money.
Of course, absolutely. Like, to create a special committee to sit down. What are you doing for French? What are you doing? What are you doing? Let's put a plan down. What's in the...
Can't they just send out like a fucking Survey Monkey email and everyone just fills it out? This is what we're doing.
Well, this happened.
Seems free.
Well, this happened because Chrystia Freeland, who is the
vice premier,
the
vice whatever she is,
the deputy prime minister
I
of
thought you were going to
Canada.
say the official Survey Monkey. Yeah.
But she's also the minister of finance in Ottawa, and technically, because this is a publicly traded company in Ottawa, like the government of Canada owns, I think, 6 or 7% of the shares, they have a right, to say, they have some say in what's going on. She sent a letter to the board of Air Canada saying that whatever is happening.
I'll keep going. I don't know how that.
This.
I think you have ADD.
What the fuck?
Me?
100%.
He's doing fucking throwing up signs.
Go
All
on.
right, bro. All right. Anyways, so she sent a letter to the board requesting answers and saying, "Listen, we want to know what's going on, and we're putting in a request as a 6% or 7% shareholder that the CEO speak French, and that this,
That's interesting.
and that these measures are corrected in the future." Blah, blah. So they're taking
Did you expect that? I didn't.
Yeah, so they're taking a huge. That's a huge stand. I mean, to be getting a letter from the Minister of Finance, who represents 7% of your shareholders.
7.
I think the government of Ottawa, the Canadian government has 6 or 7% shares in Air
6
Canada.
or 7.
I think it's 6% or 7%. I can't remember. I read
That's
the
not
letter.
that much.
I read the letter. Well, it is. Obviously, it's not significant, but I mean,
They have no voting
if you
power.
Consider that I have like 0.0000001% stake. Pretty big percentage.
yeah. So that's what happened. That's what's happened with Michel Rousseau. Because it's always in the news, so I keep reflecting back to this story, and I just cannot understand how the communications team fucked that shit up. I mean, it wasn't just.
It's not their fault. It's his fault for saying.
No.
It's a testament to the city.
Obviously, it's his fault because he doesn't know how to communicate, number one. But secondly, it's not as if he woke up that day and said, okay, let's go give a speech in front of, the Chamber of Commerce. This has been planned for months in advance. They knew, because the media had already been pressuring them. The Conseil de la Langue Française had even called Air Canada to say that, listen, we heard that you're giving a speech only in English. We strongly recommend that you put some French in it, blah, blah, blah. There was already this thing brewing, right? So where the hell is this communication team? And we said this last episode. Why couldn't they just fucking draft one paragraph and have the guy
Is it an
practice
oversight or is it we don't give a shit? What is it?
I don't know. That's the question now.
That's the real question, yeah.
It's
is
impossible.
It a bad communications team
It's
or
impossible.
We
relationship?
speak the language of flight.
It's
at
impossible.
Air
Yeah,
Canada.
it's impossible that it was an oversight because this has been going. They've been preparing this for weeks, if not
Did
months.
they remember to include the hello, ladies and everyone?
Bonjour. He probably said bonjour. No, there's French in
No,
there.
because remember Air Canada got rid of ladies and gentlemen?
Yeah.
I wonder if he used ladies and gentlemen.
I don't
Wait,
know.
They remembered,
why did he get rid of it?
we had done a whole thing
Because
on it,
of all
remember?
that stupid
Gender
thing,
neutral greetings. Welcome aboard, everybody.
They're also trying to hire Too busy trying to hire sexy air stewardesses.
No, they don't have any sexy air stewardess Air
That
Canada.
is not true.
Oh, maybe not anymore.
Maybe they have a couple, a handful.
couple.
Because a few years back, I went to like 2 interviews, and there
Said
was
you weren't
some-
sexy enough.
What to be
To be a sexy flight attendant.
He's like,
To be a
I'm
flight
here to be a
attendant.
sexy
Wait,
air
There was
stewardess.
some.
You wanted to be a
fly-
flight attendant?
I passed the
There was
first
some fly
interview, but
broads.
I think only ironically.
Tell me, did you actually want to be a flight attendant?
He did, yeah.
for a time, yeah.
I talked him out of it.
Why?
Because I thought it was gonna be cool to travel and
But
shit.
Cool.
no, you're
enough.
saying it's. You know what you're saying? Because you're a selfish person. That's why
Why?
you're saying this. Because I'm thinking about Poseidon. Okay, first of all, Poseidon is massive. These planes are small.
What if you only flew on the bigger planes?
Poseidon would be only hunched back, squeezing through the. It would be such anarchy for the kid. It would be horrible.
Yeah.
I don't
There's
know
nowhere
about
to
that.
sit. Yeah, he's not comfortable in the
I'm,
plane.
I'm
I
not a
get
big enough guy to ever have been
What
uncomfortable on
had
an airplane,
made me-
except for Transat, which was made for
it.
dwarves.
It's only little people that can have fun doing that job.
Yeah, but what had made me want to lean into that was the travel. Like
Yeah.
I get to see some.
I
Cool
mean, that's what I'm
places.
saying. I understand
And
why it would
also,
be appealing.
I heard that air stewardesses.
Stop calling them that. They're
They're
flight
called air
attendants.
waitresses.
Whatever, bro.
Air hose.
Fucking air holes.
Not air hose. I know
I've heard a
many.
lot
I know.
of stories.
Yeah, actually, I was
I've
about to
heard
say
a lot
I
of
know many,
stories
and a lot of the
too.
ones I know
Yeah,
bang
yeah,
dudes.
there
Yeah,
you
you're
go.
right.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
You know, so that's what had convinced me also to.
Oh, you thought you could bang him? No, they mostly fuck
you
hot.
wanted to fly to
no,
bang
no,
your
they, bro.
coworkers.
Mostly
No.
they fuck hot tourists and hot
Rich-
pilots.
and rich dudes.
No,
Yeah.
they'll
Bang each other too when
yeah,
they're bored.
they'll
But you have to be
do-
last resort.
Poseidon gets hired. He starts offering like indecent proposals when he's in like Paris. She's like, "We work together." He goes, "Pope, I'll never see each other
No,
again."
no. They bang like they bang a lot with each other, like the employees.
Oh, like ballerinas, they all fuck each other.
Yeah,
No, ballerinas do.
That's what I've heard.
I think you made that up.
No, I've heard it many a time on different television programs. Now, is it real or not? Part of the script? I don't
Fake.
know.
An old coworker of
Seems
mine
like something they do.
had a close friend of his who decided to become a air steward because of that, and
Why
he
do you
was
keep call-
fucking.
Anyways,
That's what they are, bro.
no, they're flight attendants.
No, they're not. Flight attendants is an old
Inverse. Flight stewards and stewardesses. That's the old term.
That's crazy.
Anyways,
I hate
so
you so much.
I
Every
don't
day I
know-
wake up and I
I didn't
remember
even
how much
finish
I
my
hate
fucking
you.
sentence, motherfucker.
What are you trying to tell us? That air stewardess
So
bang?
you heard that the air hosts fuck each other? Yes.
Yeah, like I had an
Yeah,
old
yeah,
coworker who had a friend who got
friend,
that
yeah.
job, and he was banging all kinds of air stewardesses.
So
'Cause they
you
would
wanted
sleep
to
in the
do
same
this
rooms and
job
shit.
not for the travel or the,
Well, for the
excitement, the adventure,
for
or
a
the
lot
money.
of stuff. For a lot of the
You
stuff.
wanted to bang the
The
host.
money was garbage, by the way.
Yeah,
is
the
it?
money
Yeah,
shit.
the
yeah.
money
I didn't
was
know that.
trash. That's
And-
actually
I only
what
know
turned
one
me off.
person who's a flight attendant, and I've never asked what kind of money they make. You know her too.
Yeah,
She flies Sunwing.
oh yeah, I know a lot of Sunwing. I know a couple of Sunwing sky waitresses.
Yeah.
But the thing is, yeah, you don't get paid and there's no tips.
Sky girls.
Yeah, the money is horrendous. By
Well,
the
that's
way.
how I
tips,
call. I go
yeah.
sky waitress.
Like I'd probably make more at McDonald's.
Well, you probably ate
You
more at
ate more
McDonald's.
McDonald's. Damn, you beat me to it. George's news was boring today. I found I wasn't into it.
I
It's
was
not-
into it big
it's
time.
not
This was a good
my-
episode.
we had a great
I was
start.
happy with
It
this
was
episode.
fucking interesting, and then I just lost interest.
You just lost interest. I
Yeah.
had a great time.
It's so funny. Doc under the camera. Meanwhile, I'm on the middle cam. It's so funny.
It was unnecessary.
How am I supposed to know which
Yeah, how's
camera
the point?
you're
You know
on?
what? He did the right. He's a professional. And this
I
guy's just
know.
walking in and out of frame in front of cameras. This guy doesn't care. This guy
I've
did-
stopped caring.
I
at
know,
this
but
point.
it's funny for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
It is-
gee, we
it
were
is
just talking
gross.
about sky waitresses.
Yeah.
And
Are they
how-
flight attendants? Flight. What do you call them?
Look,
Air
so-
stewardesses or air hose?
Nobody said air hose, but you.
He did.
No, you said
No,
it.
you said
So
it.
look,
You said
initially they were called stewardesses, right?
Yeah, we're gonna keep it at that.
And then they changed it to flight attendants.
Who's
And I think
they? I was not asked to vote.
The system. I don't know.
Well,
the
I changed it.
establishment.
I changed it to sky waitresses.
But they're not really just waitresses. They're there to kind of look after you and take
How,
care
what are
of
you
you.
gonna look after me?
Yeah,
But if the
no,
plane
no,
goes down,
yeah,
we're all
man.
going down together.
No, but there was like a ton of shit. Like if somebody passes away, what the fuck do you
No, but
do?
I like flight
On a
attendant.
plane.
I think it's a great word, flight attendant.
I
don't
like
know.
flight attendant
The
too.
idea of being attended to, it seems like they're not doing enough. They're not living up to that. Like they don't.
What more do you
much
want them
for
to
me.
do? They bring you your food. They bring you your water. They answer
But I have
questions.
to ask for it. They don't tend to me. They don't just show up and ask what I need. That stopped.
Yeah, they
years
do.
ago.
They come with the cart back and forth.
Funny
guess.
story. Funny story with the flight attendant when we were traveling to Colombia.
You banged her?
And yeah, with my wife there. Excuse
Whoa.
me. Yeah, excuse me, excuse me, honey.
Oh, I
I'll
thought
just
you
go,
meant you brought your
I'll
wife.
just go to the bathroom quick.
You know, I've always wanted to join the Mile High Club, and my wife's being a bit of a bitch today.
no, but it's
First
funny.
of all, you can't join the Mile High Club in a regular plane unless you're disgusting.
No, the funny thing is that we
Hold on. I want to know
Yeah.
what he meant. What do you
Yeah,
mean?
I didn't
Regular planes are filthy. They're
Oh,
full of
yeah,
germs.
it's
Disgusting.
disgusting, yeah.
The bathrooms are even worse. If you're gonna fuck anywhere on a regular
Private jet.
plane,
You gotta find a
yeah, you
fucking
gotta find a
private
plane. If you're gonna, if you tell me I go to my high club on a plane, I'm like, okay, you have AIDS.
You have syphilis, AIDS, and everything in between.
No, but so we took a flight to go to this other city, and I wanted to have the seats in the front next to the door where you have more leg room, whatever.
Yeah.
So we get the seats, we get them, we sit down, and the lady comes, obviously speaking Spanish, and I can understand, right? I can't speak very well, but I can understand very well, and
He's
she's
been married for like 14 years, no?
No, but I can
haven't picked
speak
it
and
up.
understand fairly well. Not as good as my wife can speak and understand Greek, though, which is very impressive. But in any case, so she's telling me now, because it's an emergency thing, you need to be able
Had
to
your Spanish sound.
You need-
Emergency.
yeah, emergency.
En Malaga.
So you need to be able to speak Spanish because you need to kind of, I don't know, direct people or whatever.
Yeah, you gotta open the doors.
So she's asking me, she's saying all these things in Spanish. She's like, so yeah, you're okay? Like, you speak Spanish? I'm like, sí. No problem. You know, I'm telling her this. She's like, okay, good. And I turn to my wife, I'm like, if anything goes down, you're fucking taking over. I can't speak shit to these people.
She's like, comprende? He's like, muy caliente. Sí.
She's like, you can turn on your air here, sir.
Yeah.
Your
If you're
hair.
hot, turn on your air.
We both speak the language of love.
Jesus Christ. So yeah.
Sensual.
Corazón.
So, yeah,
She's like,
so-
sir,
so-
the door.
So what's
Sí.
what's the
Sí.
debate now? Calling them stewardess or
It
flight
wasn't really a
attendants?
debate.
It wasn't a debate. He wants to call them street
flight
hose,
attendants.
air hose, and
No,
me
man,
and Poseidon
don't
are
go,
against
Well,
that.
I was just fucking
Yeah.
Poseidon.
Me and Poseidon
I think
are
in flight
against that.
attendant, they seem to believe that that's
Sky
the older
waitress.
term.
Pantelis and
No,
I
the
are all
older
about,
term is stewardess.
Pantelis and I are all about women's rights, bro.
Yeah, Sky Waitress is the best
I've
one.
seen firsthand.
Do you ever feel awkward when they're, and I don't want to sound
When they're too hot?
sexist here, but when there's men flight attendants, like
Why?
like there's something that always feels off. It's like,
What? You were a waiter.
yeah,
How is he's a sky waiter?
I know, but
see.
it-
it does work.
I told you.
Yeah, he's
Sky
right.
waiter.
Sky waiter. They are sky waiters.
Yeah, it's such a cool word. What do? You can say I'm a waiter, but if you're like, I'm a sky waiter, what the fuck is that? I'm a waiter on the planes. I'm in the sky. Like,
I'm
that's
in the
fucking
sky.
badass,
I'm
bro.
up there waiting, just waiting around.
Yeah, you just want to blow these dudes.
What?
What?
¿Qué pasó?
No, George, I'm not all.
Yeah, I see
I
what
am
you're
not
saying,
at all
George.
uncomfortable when it's a man.
I'm not saying I'm uncomfortable. I'm just saying like it looks odd a bit. It looks off. It's like
It
dude,
does,
it's supposed to be a girls thing.
No, but they're all
when
they're
they're
also,
when they're
by the way,
straight guys, it's a bit off. Like
I have
weird,
an
but it's
audio
strange.
clip of George when he saw his first
So it's okay.
sky
If
waiter.
they're, so it's okay if they're gay.
What? Are you gay?
Who says I am gay?
you are gay.
So if they're
You are
gay,
gay.
so if they're gay, it's okay. But if they're straight, it's odd.
no, by the way,
No, I'm not
it's-
uncomfortable, but seeing like a masculine straight man,
yeah.
it feels weird. But whatever, that's his job. That's fine.
They're not all like
but
that.
like the gay guys, they fucking lean into it. They're like, here we go, and I'm like, this is his fucking calling. Like this is what he was meant to do. This he's saving my life. Not that I ever pay attention during the
I've
instructions.
never really seen any.
You never seen a gay guy, like a flamboyantly gay guy, be a flight attendant?
Come on, man.
I
all
think
the
I've
time.
seen one.
What are you talking about, man? They're all,
How often do you fly though?
Yeah. No, there's more and more now.
Yeah, but Air Canada, it's mandatory by law that they hire at least one male flight attendant
I
or
thought you were
air
gonna say
steward.
something else, and I was like, "Oh God, don't say it."
Uh,
I don't know if that's true.
no, it's
Like diversity
it's not
hire thing?
mandatory. It's not mandatory. It's mandatory in their policies. In case shit breaks out, they need a masculine force.
They don't have a masculine force. Whenever I see dudes on the
Oh no,
yeah.
we're crashing.
So far, no, I'm just saying. I don't. There could be a Sasquatch on a plane. I don't know. But so far, the air waitresses that have been dudes,
Air waiters.
I'm not gonna go that far. Have really been effeminate. So I don't see that that's in a real policy. I think that's
I'm
made
not
up.
uncomfortable about a guy being an
No,
air waiter.
not
at all, like
uncomfortable.
George
I just
Sass.
said it looks a little strange. It looks odd
No,
because
I don't
you're,
find
you know,
it.
it's
I
been
don't
such
think
a.
I once on one
it's
of my
been
flights-
dominated by women for forever.
Well, the nurses too have that stigma around them.
yeah.
That's
but
true. I've
the-
known many a male nurse.
Me too, I've
I
known
don't
many
see why
male
it's
nurses,
weird,
yeah.
So it seems normal to me.
It was just
I had a
weird.
lady pilot once. That was cool.
I had a
They
lady
bang
pilot.
all kinds too.
Like she came out after, and I was like, "Well, a woman flew this plane."
No, there was
That's
a
fucking-
legit-
I've never seen that before. It
No, there was
cool.
a legit lady pilot, a flight from New York to Montreal. It sounds like a joke, but it's not, because they made a statement about it.
no.
Yeah, they made a statement about it, like in the.
What airline?
That's how we knew. I think it was Air Canada.
I
'Cause it
remember
was-
this story.
Yeah, it was because it might have been maybe it was an American one. Maybe whoever flies
Seems
from
like an
New
Air
York
Canada
to
thing
Montreal,
that this is
it was
going.
the short trip. Anyways, but why it was funny is because they made a big deal about it in the intercoms, and then, this is gonna sound like an exaggeration, but this is exactly what happened.
Oh God.
It was taking a while when we landed. It was taking a while to get everything done, And then when they're like, all right, we're arriving on Montreal, whatever, she goes on the intercom and she goes, ladies and gentlemen, we just need you to watch your step when you go out. There's a bit of a gap. I swear to God, we screwed up the parking.
That's what she said.
And then I turned to the guy next to me and I said something like, lady drivers, right? You see what I'm saying? Like, you can't escape that. Something like that I said. And the guy's like, the old guy's like, and then when we got out, that's what it was. There was a gap. It's as if the stretch thing, she was
Wasn't enough.
just
She just
too
missed it.
far out. Yeah,
Yeah.
she was just, so there was a bit of a gap. But I was like, what are the odds of the only time I get a woman pilot, crew, whatever the fuck it was, because they made a big deal about it,
yeah.
that the parking, she even said, we've screwed up the parking.
That's pretty
I was
funny.
like, that's amazing.
I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
The joke writes itself.
Mr.
Yeah.
Plow
But it's not her
goes,
fault. It's the guy directing her on the floor. No, that screwed up.
I don't know.
She can't really see it. That's why they have these guys.
She said we screwed up the parking. So I
Yeah,
don't know.
as a team
called.
fuck up. Yeah.
Yeah. By the way-
Honestly, I've had a.
I'm saying I've never heard. I've taken thousands of flights. I've never heard
honestly,
that.
of all the-
thousands of flights. You
Yep.
think?
Thousands?
I don't think so.
Thousands?
Over 1,000 flights. Yeah.
Get out. Really?
Yeah.
That's a lot
He's
of
just
flights.
Really?
sticking to it now.
Yeah, okay.
God damn. That's a lot of fucking flights. Man.
Over 1,000 flights. Yeah.
I wonder how many flights I've taken.
No,
I've
you
never
haven't
done the
taken
math.
1,000.
Yeah.
Probably
I've
like
easily
15.
taken. I've probably taken like 40, 45 flights in my life,
Seems legit.
I'm probably
My
under
whole
20.
and it was pretty much nothing until I started traveling for work.
What was I going to say, though?
Hold on, Mr.
Yeah.
Plow in the chat goes like, dude, cheerleaders. Like, that's weird also.
Oh,
to
the
see.
dude cheerleaders. I don't like that.
No, but you
Hold
need them,
on.
bro. Because you need someone to throw them up and
Geniuses.
grab
Hold
them.
on, I'll tell you why they're
Geniuses.
geniuses. I had a family friend, very close, who became a dude cheerleader.
Your ex?
What? No, he was
Not friends with your family anymore.
what? No, he was banging all kinds of cheerleaders.
Kinds, bruh.
All kinds.
So
Peeps.
I was having this conversation with I won't
Bangers.
say who, and we were talking about our kids and like my daughters do ballet and with the older one, and she loves it. And he's like, and I was going on about how good ballet is for them, right, kids, developmentally. And he's like, what if you had a son? I'm like, I have no issue putting my son in ballet. I go fucking good exercise, strong. I go on. He goes, seems kind of gay.
Oh, no, probably a couple hundred. Probably.
Yeah, not thousands.
No,
oh,
no,
you're
not,
still
not
counting?
1,000. Yeah. I was-
Ja Rule was a barrel,
But in the
ballerina
hundreds,
dancer.
in the hundreds,
yeah, for sure.
Because there was a time where, because of
Constantly, yeah.
yeah, it was like four fucking a week, like because it was flights, like
Yeah.
one here and then connecting. I'm
My
counting the
number only
connecting
jumped
flights.
when I was going regularly.
Yeah.
That's when it. Anyways, so
By the way, I hate flying, so this is not a brag. This is
did you never get
all those
comfortable with it ever?
hours I spent in planes. I want you all to know it is
Sucked.
torture for me. Anyone who sees me in the States, anyone who sees me in Houston, New York, all that, know that I suffered to be there for you.
You're like Jesus.
Yeah.
So, anyway, back to the ballet
Yeah, so
story.
he's like, seems kind of gay, you know? I'm like,
What's
what?
gay?
For a boy to do ballet, a young boy.
No, it's not gay.
So I'm like, no, you're doing the kid a favor. Like, if he stays in ballet, that kid's like, you signed off that kid's sex card for life. Like, he can always have sex when he wants to.
Yeah.
Because he's around a bunch of women, they trust him, they're friends, they're close, and he's limber.
How come you think the only way to have sex is to be a predator?
How is what I said make him a predator?
Because they trust him. He's in there.
They trust him, they're friends. Yeah, okay, fine.
And then you strike.
What's that? I keep seeing a TikTok video. This guy that he pretended to be gay to get into the girl's sleepover.
The sleepover.
And then they wanted to practice sucking dick on him or something. And it was like, yes! Yes!
I've infiltrated
My time
their
has
ranks.
come!
That's never gonna happen.
No, never. But he goes, no, my kid, if my son was gay, I don't know what I'd do. The conversation kind of like gets out of control at that point. I was like, dude, you're saying crazy stuff. Now, ballet is not going to make the kid gay.
Yeah.
He goes, I'm going to put him in sports. I'm like, yeah, because that's not gay at all. A bunch of guys naked slapping each other in the ass. And he,
What do you think happens?
I never
for a
played
guy
sports.
that never played sports, you have a
I
weird
have an
fucking
outsider's
misconception.
opinion.
Yeah, I mean, it's the perception, right? That
It's
when you see
perception.
a boy dancing ballet, they're like, oh, this guy.
My daughter's ballet school, the owner is he's a Russian
Homosexual.
raised, not at all.
Oh,
He's
I don't- I
a
thought that's where we're going with
South
this.
American, probably a communist, I guess his family. They ended up in Russia, so he's like a Latino Soviet.
Yeah.
Which means he's like super ballet. And there's pictures of him all over the school, like
Ballet equal freedom.
dancing like Swan Lake and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And I was talking to him the other day, and I was like,
Russians
no.
are big in ballet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's like, yeah, we don't have a lot of enrollment for boys. I mean, he doesn't sound like that. He sounds very exactly how you'd think a Soviet Latino would sound. And I'm like,
Don't have enough,
what should you do?
boys.
He goes, they are too
Vato.
afraid to be. And I was like, there's more to the sentence. And I was like, nope, there's no more to the
We
sentence.
don't
He
have
was
enough
done.
boys signing up
He's
Vatos Locos for life.
They cannot be.
He was so mad. It was so funny.
No, it doesn't. I don't mind the arts. I don't think dancing. I don't think dancing is gay.
not at all.
I don't think anything that's not gay is gay. If you're gay, you're gay. That's it. You can
Yeah.
do.
You know what's gay? Sucking another man off. That's very gay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I don't feel there's
What a
anything in between.
conversation we've come into.
That's, no, but I mean,
But
like,
some of the toughest
activities-
motherfuckers, like there was a Polish rapper, bro, that
Yeah, of
tattooed his
course.
eyeballs.
Suck
He's
the dick?
very he's married and with a
Very
woman
gay?
and shit. No, he's into ballroom dancing. Like
okay.
shit like
Yeah,
that.
there's nothing gay about any of
all
this.
I'm
No, I
saying
know.
is no activities besides having sex with the same sex are inherently gay.
Exactly.
Nothing.
Yeah.
So wait, he tattooed his eye?
That's a
Yeah,
whole
he
different.
tattooed his
let's not
eyeballs.
get into that.
This guy's like super hardcore,
He's
bro.
not
That's
Like,
kinda
he's
gay, though.
stupid.
How the fuck do you do that shit?
It hurts.
bro, it's, he
Why?
almost, he almost went
Forget
blind.
how. Why?
You
Whatever
already said
that-
it. I love how Poseidon's like he almost went blind. You think?
No shit.
Yeah.
You got a needle picking your eye. No.
No, it's very dangerous. But this guy's fucked.
I
in
don't
the
know
head.
why. I just got like a random flash of a dream I had last night where Poseidon went blind in one eye.
Oh wow.
What the fuck was the context
I
there?
jerked off so much. They used to say
Do you ever get that? You forget your dreams and suddenly a piece of it will come back to you?
Sometimes
I
yes, and it
wanted
feels like
to-
déjà vu.
I wanted to get
Is that what?
Déjà vu.
I was gonna go get sleeve tattoos.
Yeah.
And then I saw Alex's new tattoo, and it motivated me. I
Not
didn't.
to?
I, yeah, I,
Are you
I,
What did he
serious?
guess?
Yeah, because it was so. Because I was like, "Yo, look at these details," but all it was black, his
Yeah.
whole hand, and I was like, "Ah, fuck! I'm scared. I'm not gonna go get a sleeve tattoo, bro. I
No,
don't
it
want.
depends
I
what
don't
you
just
get.
want a black sleeve.
No, but what did he do though? Like you can get color.
He
You
got
can. It
castle.
depends.
Huh?
What?
Castle.
It's supposed to be a castle. It's just a, it's
just got a big
ink
castle?
blob.
You
Yeah,
just got a big castle.
Yeah.
It's a pretty random tattoo.
yeah. It would have looked cool if it
You
was.
should. You know what you should do? Go and buy yourself those nylon sleeves that have tattoos. Test it out for a few days. See how you feel.
No, if it's stuff that I care about, I want to put. But I want the.
What would you
but-
put? Like
you know who I picture.
characters?
You know who I picture he as with sleeves now, as Seth Rogen when he his role in the 40-Year-Old Virgin. I don't know why I picture you like
Did
that.
he have all tattoos? No.
Get up and leave. Mano's taking over. Get up and
It's
leave.
like all these barbed wired kind of things.
No, I don't want those barbed
He
wire.
had like white
No.
trash tattoos. Yeah.
Yeah, no, me. I was gonna have like, let's say, a cartoonized version of my dog, full color.
That would be
So,
cute.
yeah, we could have like different
That's
stuff.
intense. But yeah, okay.
But
I don't
full
know.
color. It needs to be vibrant.
You should put instead of a tear, a little sad face emoji with a tear.
Nah,
Because you're a comedian and you make people laugh.
on the face.
Yeah.
But he's also tough.
People
It's
tattoo
also
themselves
tough.
on.
You
No
get an
face,
emoji
but I
tear
killed
tattoo
motherfuckers.
No
instead of a
face,
tear.
no face, no neck tattoo.
No.
No dick
Yeah, I
tattoos
agree.
either.
Yeah.
I see nothing wrong with dick tattoos.
What was that? Welcome to
I
Jamaica.
tattoo.
Have a
I
nice
tattoo.
day. Dick
I
tattoo
tattoo
back
like
in the
a
day. You remember that?
dinosaur. I would tattoo like a dinosaur on my dick.
So there's finally something big down there.
You bastard. That was quick, bro. That was quick, bro.
Oh my god, man.
Oh, you-
Bro, you're
there's
messing
there's
with
other jokes
legend
there.
in my class,
There's
bro.
other jokes there. There's other jokes there.
Yeah. Finally, women could see something of reputable size. Like, there's a lot of little jokes I could have made over
Is
there.
there an extinction level joke in there?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Two
Maybe. The last of its kind.
Yeah, two things that people think are a myth.
Ah, you
Flat earthers don't believe in. Yeah, there's a lot.
God damn. I alley-ooped that one hard.
You did though.
Literally.
But yeah, I want to get sleeves.
Super random. My daughter's learning about Greek gods and goddesses in history class.
Yeah.
So she was showing me, like, she has like a printout with cartoons, right? She goes, that's, in Greek though, but that's Zeus, that's Artemis, that's Poseidon. And then later, I'm looking at the security camera feed.
And you're like, no,
this guy
that's
walks
Poseidon.
in looking ridiculous as usual because the thumbnails are always hilarious.
Yeah.
And I'm like, who's in the office? And my daughter's next to me and I go, it's just Poseidon. She goes, that's not Poseidon. He doesn't even have the stick.
That's
Such like an innocent
You
joke.
should. Wouldn't it be funny if he just
Walks
gives
around
in
with
to,
it.
and just has a trident everywhere?
You should get a trident right here.
I'm gonna.
Sir, you can't come in here with that. The fuck, I can't.
Do you know who I am, good sir?
Yeah.
Yeah, you should get a trident.
Speaking of the fucking cameras, bro, that snapshot of me
That I sent you today.
that you sent me is fucking hilarious. I look like the most flamboyantly gay.
Yeah, it looks like I thought we were getting robbed.
You want flamboyant? How about you on a business call?
What? Let me
Yeah,
see.
you do a
whole
lot
time.
of this. You do a lot of this. Yeah.
Let me see.
I'll show you after. But I recorded it while Nick sexually looks at you from the distance. And he keeps doing this for some reason.
Oh yeah, I saw that yesterday because I got a notification and like 3-4 in a row, and
I was
all
like,
it
what the
was
fuck is
you
that?
pacing and Nick with his hands in his pocket waiting at the door. What the fuck was
Yeah,
that
it
about?
very sketch.
Last night
Yeah, it's
before he
fine.
left, was that? What were you talking? You looked intense,
Oh, my girlfriend had called me. I wasn't intense.
and you were just leaving the guy waiting at the door. Why don't you tell her I'll call you later when I'm done?
No, I was doing transfers. That's what I told her. I was doing transfers, but it didn't last long.
I kept getting notified every
That's
fucking
what
10
she said.
seconds.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
mama.
Yo,
looks.
how's your podcast going, G?
Which one? The one he doesn't do or the
The
other one?
one he
podcast is
does.
going good with Just As Dads. We have a bunch of things lined up. It's great. We're having a lot of fun. And everyone should just subscribe and tune in. It's great.
Look, if
great
you guys
content.
don't want to subscribe, what camera are we on?
Doesn't matter. Okay. Yeah.
If they don't want to subscribe, just know that if you subscribe to George's podcast, you're going to get something that I'm producing for them. So if you're not interested in George and you want to
It's
see what I'm
coming.
up
It's
to,
coming soon. Yeah, we're
See,
doing.
I'm not saying don't support George. I'm just saying if you're on the fence,
Just do it to see Phil's content
there you
coming
go.
soon.
And then stay for George and his buddies because they're amusing.
And if you don't subscribe, I'll be under your bed when you go to sleep.
And as for
Sure.
the backstage, it's like I told you. I mean, I got so turned off with the elections. I had planned to bring on candidates for the federal and provincial and municipal elections, which happened for the federal one, but provincial municipal one.
George, all you should do with the
I just
backstage,
got
because I can see that your heart's not in the backstage anymore.
No,
The
no, no,
Just
no.
As
I'm
Dad
trying to
things, you're
think
excited.
how. Yeah.
Get the biggest name you've ever gotten. Just fucking work as long as it takes. If it takes months, do it. The biggest name ever, series finale. Backstage is retired. You're doing
The
just
process of getting guests is annoying.
I know it is.
Yeah, that's
Look,
that's one thing.
hello.
But at the
Full-time
same,
job.
yeah, but at the same time, you know, the dad's one. Juggling with a different schedule is also very annoying. But
true.
I mean,
It's like having guests,
You're
right?
eliminating one stress and you have another. So I mean, at the end of the day, but I mean, look, I'm still shocked that after almost 2 years, we've consistently put out episodes every week. Honestly,
surprising. It is
It's
surprising.
so I'm glad about that. So yeah, we're pushing through, and it's a great little thing that we do and that we enjoy. So.
All right, well, cue the music, Poseidon, because you're
that's
not
it?
paying attention. So listen, people, if you like this episode, and let's be honest, why the fuck wouldn't you? You need to know a couple things. Number one, George's not the only podcaster around. Phil, also a podcaster. So support him, even though he doesn't really podcast anymore. What you could do is if you have a business, if you work for a business, if you know of a business, if you ever heard of the word business, Phil is an award-winning filmmaker, commercial maker, propaganda enthusiast. He can make a commercial for you, your friend, or whoever the fuck needs a commercial. He's worked with some of the top businesses in the city, and actually a couple times went down the States to work with some of the top businesses in America. He's worked for fighter jet stuff. He's worked for leisure jet stuff, for private jet stuff.
Wish I did fighter
Yeah,
jets.
he's worked. Well, no fighter jets, just private jets.
They were not fighting.
No.
People fought for them.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's the
Fighted
same
for
difference.
jets.
He's produced commercials for restaurants. He's produced commercials for bars, for the local Nazi party, which, let's be honest, it's pretty ballsy of him. He's avant-garde. So check out philbalabanos.com. Links are in the description. If you do contact him right now for a commercial, he might take a little while getting back to you just because he is a little busy. He's doing a
will
lot of
still get
virtual
back to you, I
reality. He
promise.
does get
I'll
back
get
to you,
back to you.
but in order to come tape your stuff, he has like a couple of big contracts he's working on right now. A testament to his quality. That's why these people keep coming back. His prices are fair. His video content is above average. Phil, balabanos.com.
You couldn't
George,
pay for a better plug if I had.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
George makes podcasts. George is the host of the podcast called Just Us Dads, a podcast for dads by other dads. Really, that's the podcast. It's a lot of entertaining stuff that happens on that podcast. They were supposed to lose weight. They had a weight loss challenge. All three of them got fatter somehow during that challenge. That's impressive in itself. Just As Dads, episodes drop weekly. Make sure to go to the links in the description. Subscribe to everything that George does. Support Just As Dads. Support George is a good guy. Our boy Poseidon producing this show, DPoseidon69 on Instagram and on Twitter. He's on twitch.tv/DPoseidon69. If you like what we're doing here, you want to support the operation, head over to patreon.com/Pantelis. Join at any level. Support the cause. The cause is anarchy at this point. The cause is chaos. The cause is chaos. Thank you for supporting us. New episode of 2 Drink Minimum just dropped on all platforms, audio and video. Go fuck yourselves.